What's up, disciplined investor?
We got Benzinga CEO Jason Raznick here with us.
The man, the myth, the legend, Tom Nash.
Okay, thank you, Spencer. On the Power Hour with us live today.
Interesting.
Did you share my screen yet?
Innovative companies.
Mia, you are live with us on the Power Hour. What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Jessica Billingsley, that is the CEO of Akerna.
The best trade idea resource out there. All right. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, hump day. All right. How could I forget hump day? I don't know. But what's up, guys? We are back at it for another episode of the Power Hour. That's what we're doing every single day, representing for ZingerNation. But I say every day, but we actually won't be on Thursday and Friday. But I think that we have something more interesting in store. So over these next 2 days, so all day Thursday, so it's going to be from 9 to 5 Eastern, and then Friday from 9 to 5 Eastern, we are going to be running the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. And basically what that is throughout the course of each day, we're going to have 30 cannabis stocks, their CEOs, CFOs, investor relations, somebody of that sort presenting on behalf of the company. And basically what they're going to be doing is taking you through here's the company. Here's why we make for a compelling investment. And so if you're in the cannabis space, it's absolutely cannot miss content. Because again, you're going to hear from over the course of 2 days, 60 companies that are all making the case as to we are the best cannabis investment for this reason. And if you're not in the cannabis space, same sort of thing is applicable. What I think is really interesting about it too is that it's going to span the spectrum, right? It's going to be growers that we have. It's going to be refiners. It's going to be dispensaries. It's going to be software plays, right? It's going to go across the space. It's going to be grouped up. So again, Thursday, Friday, be there or be square, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to be running the Cannabis Capital Conference all day. And guys, we're trying the new like splitting up the shows rather than the one continuous stream. I think that I like the one continuous stream better from a user perspective. Do you guys have an opinion? If so, drop us a like, dislike. Let us know. Curious where everyone is at with that one. And then let's do one more thing. Let's start with calls today. Let's get the phones lit up. We'll get the calls going. But before we hop into that, I'm going to run us through the agenda. And I'm going to remind you guys what the point of the show is, guys. We want this to be the best trade idea resource out there. That's what we're going for. We want to have the ideas flying off the shelves. We want to be smashing them nonstop. Ideas coming from myself, coming from Jason, who's going to be joining me shortly, coming from our guests, and more importantly, coming from ZingerNation. That's all of you out there. Let's go. So guys, drop the stocks that you're talking about in the chat, the trades that you're making, drop them in the chat. We've got a jam-packed agenda today. I've got a couple rants that I'm going to go on, and we're going to actually do some live Excel work. But basically, I'm going to talk CCIV. I've got like a decently strong opinion on CCIV, or maybe not even as much of an opinion about the stock, but just about how people are thinking about valuation. So we're going to dig into the numbers there. CCIV again, of course, that's Lucid Motors. We're going to do warrants. I asked the other day, would it be helpful if we did a lesson on warrants? We explain how warrants work. So yes was the answer. So we are going to be doing that warrant lesson. And then what else are we going to have? I got my stock pitch, right? I sort of dropped it yesterday, the bull case that I have for LESL. I'm going to dig deeper into the story, into the investor deck. We're going to talk through some of the numbers for LESL, Leslie's. And also we're going to buy some options in that one live. I said I was getting into it yesterday, ran out of time, got distracted, didn't actually pull the trigger. So today we're going to be doing some live option trades on that stock on the show. And shout out Flash Hero saying I bought some KBAL. I think that's Kimball Energy. There we go. Somebody else has it. Jay Bling's putting a trade in there. 12 forward weekly calls. Yeah. All right. Let's look at that forward chart real quick before we jump to the phone lines. Or actually, you know what? Throw out the phone number, producer Rohan, and then we'll talk about forward while we do it. And we have three awesome guests joining us today. 12:31, 1:30. Ideas will be flying. We're gonna have Trader Nick. We're gonna have Joe from Titan Invest. We're gonna have Matt Grebin. So we will have hella ideas today. And again, if we're not delivering ideas, call us out. Let us know. But I'm pulling up this forward chart. As you guys know, anybody who's watched the show at least once, which I'm guessing is most of you out there, know that Ford is my stock of the year. I pitched it. Pretty chart right there. All right, check this out. I'm going to go out to a 1-year chart. These are daily candles. Give me 1 second, Rohan. I hear the phone going. All right, we are at this key resistance level, $12. Or it needs to get above $12. That's the thing. Look at this. We ran up to 12 once, got rejected. Second day, third day, fourth day, the fifth time we're running into this $12 level. Let's go. Let's hell yeah. Producer Aaron saying he's got Ford in his Roth because of me. Anybody else in that Ford trade? Come on, let's rally these shares, baby. Let's get them going. If Ford breaks above that 12, I mean, who knows where we're running until? There's not really comps on the chart. And you've got to go back 5 years. I mean, look at this. 12 was a resistance for Ford 2 or 3 years ago. But we'll have room to run on Ford if we break above that 12 level. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that throughout the show. If you're not in it yet, could be an interesting time to get involved. But producer Rohan, we have somebody on the phone lines.
We have a caller on the line.
All right.
Hey, this is Ryan from Forever Reject again. How's it going?
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing well. The market flipped green on us. We're making back. I'm about even after yesterday, so I'll take it. What's up with you?
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I like how the Dow's moving right now, and a couple of things that shows yesterday in the mineral field popped well off right around like an hour after the market opened. So I'm like up like 15% off of that. So that was a good call on like the XPL, GSV. So reaping a little bit of rewards off of that. But right now I like NAK and the movement of that one.
All right. So the ticker NAK, November Alpha Kilo. All right. Why do you like this one?
Yeah. Well, right now, they still are in process of getting one of their major contracts passed. It's going to be a big Pebble project. Now, there's been a lot of rumor that it might not get passed, it might not look good, but on the prospect of kind of buying the rumor, selling the news, I still like it going forth in a Democratic administration. And hearing some sort of news that Biden might talk about this type of sector soon. So I like the rumor, but I like the movement of it trailing back up to where it stayed, for persistent for a while around at least above 85 cents. So I like that as a solid play right now.
Okay, so it's like a swing trade for you.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay. All right. I like that one. And is it necessarily news or is it just technicals and momentum that you're watching on it?
It's mainly momentum. I mean, the minute news comes out, I will have my finger on that trigger. Definitely.
All right. And you got somebody else
like
in the
your,
chat.
I
Ruel
like
saying
your,
likes this one too. But all right. What were you going to say?
I like your DD on the LESL. I want to say more, but I can't about Leslie's technically. But all I say is that it is a growing sector that is not going anywhere. If you ever wanted to chat about LESL, I would love to, but all I say is that I cannot.
All right, so I'm going to read between the lines here, guys. LESL, it's a stock that I talked about yesterday. Check this out. I've got a full page of notes right here. We're going to rip through the numbers on LESL in a little bit later on this show. All right, can you at least tell us what industry you work in or anything along those lines?
Well, I did have some experience in the swimming pool industry as a whole for about 4 years. Not in there anymore, but obviously LESL is a big name. And you saw what SCP did. If you look at the stock ticker SCP, that is a big wholesale.
Wait, give me that ticker again.
Pool supplies. Yeah, SCP. My bad. That's the name of the company. The ticker is actually Pool, Pool.
There we go. Okay. Yep.
That's going to be Pool Corp, right?
Yep. You got it.
SCP Pool. SCP Pool. Perfect. I mean, look at just the growth over the past year. Obviously, you saw, a slight dump with, when the market crashed in March last year, but you see that consistent momentum all the way up. And that really had to do with the demand of pools in people's backyards as a whole. So, I mean, you got that right on the money. And I don't think the demand's going to lessen anytime soon. It's only going higher.
All right. I like that. That just made me more convicted in Leslie's again. LESL is a stock. I talked about it briefly yesterday. Today, we're going to do the deep dive on it. But all right, man. Ryan, I appreciate you calling in again.
You got to take care. Hey, if you need any more DD advice on the pool industry, just hit me up, man. Take care.
Yeah. Well, how about this? How about next week? Call it because we're doing our cannabis event the next 2 days. But next week, call it anonymously. We don't know who you are. Maybe you could, share some intel like that.
Sure thing, man. Sounds good.
All right, so there it is. We're gonna do more pool industry next week. Let's go. All right, producer Rohan, let's run another one.
Good luck, everyone. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, can we throw the phone line on again, producer Rohan?
Absolutely. Waiting for another call to come in.
Wait, you don't have it up on the screen though. There it is.
Yeah, I was putting it up. Sorry.
All right, there's the phone number, and I'm gonna be obsessed with watching this Ford move all day today. Come on, baby, break out. Don't fake out on us. That's the move on Ford. If anybody else is in Ford with me, throw the 1 in the chat. If you're not, throwing the 2. And the Ford play guys, like I said, it was our stock pick of the year. So we bought it on the whatever that first trading day is. We bought the $12 strike calls, the 2022 calls. So the stock was $8.59. We bought $12 strike calls on, cheap as hell. We're way up. I mean, we can look at how much we're up on these calls. Let's see. All right. So yeah, our average price on them was 74 cents, 235 now. I think we bought 20 contracts. So all right, we're doing good on that one. All right, I hear the phone's going.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the Power Hour.
Hey, it's Ruel. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's on your mind today, Ruel?
On my mind today is a stock. Let me see if I can find that ticker right quick. And am I live?
You're live, baby.
All right. Shameless plug for our show.
All right, there we go. Ruel's
Mondays
report.
Mondays at 7:45. We do some hot stuff.
Yep.
All right. Let me
You have a ticker for us?
My thinkorswim right quick. Yes. Sorry about that. It's OTC stock.
Okay.
But it's British blockchain. All right. It is ARBKF.
Okay. Argo blockchain. All right. Holy crap. 41%. You did give me this one. You think you at least, yeah, you talked about this one last week. Okay.
Yeah. I sent it to you on Twitter, I think. But yeah,
right.
yeah,
I didn't buy it.
British blockchain. I'm trying to get a move like Riot and Mara. That's basically all it's about.
Okay. Is it a mining stock, or do you know what they do?
Yeah, they're miners. They're miners. If you go to their website, it's an actual website and it shows actual stuff. So
okay.
It's not
I guess
that's a good start there.
about to do something.
Yeah, it has a
mean?
real website. Okay. I mean, if it didn't, that would be very concerning.
Right.
All right.
Well, you never know with the Brits, right?
Okay. Any public company that doesn't have a real website, don't buy it, is my suggestion. But all right, I'm going to take a second to plug my favorite crypto stock again, guys. You know that I've talked about this one for a while. I've done some deep digging on it recently. So Voyager Digital is the stock. Here's what's interesting about this one that I haven't highlighted in the past that I think is super relevant amid the sell-off in Bitcoin that we've had in some of the other crypto stocks is that what sets Voyager apart is that they make money both ways, right? Unlike like Riot or Mara, which are miners, right? They if Bitcoin goes up, they go up. Right, they make more money. The crypto that they're mining, that they hold on the balance sheet, appreciates in value. What's different about Voyager is that they're a brokerage, which is distinctly different than a crypto exchange. Right, a crypto exchange does transactions between two people on the same exchange. Voyager connects to 12 exchanges, and they make money by basically filling orders at a better price than they quote you. So if they quote you, we're going to buy you some Bitcoin at $50,000. They fill it at, $49,700. There's a $300 spread there. They take a piece of that profit. And so in these times of crypto volatility, right? Voyager still makes money because they make it on both sides. If the price of Bitcoin goes up, the price of Bitcoin goes down. So that's another thing that I think we have going for this stock. Again, they report earnings on March 1st. I believe that's Tuesday of next week. I'm not sure. So somebody check me in on that one. But I think that they report earnings on Tuesday of next week. And they did give us a news release last week that said that they've done 1 million transactions through the first half of February. In comparison, in the first 4 days of February, they did 200,000 transactions. So their transactions per day at least increased through February 15th. I would imagine that it's still increasing with some of the price movement that we've had. So I'm definitely holding this one through earnings. Again, not necessarily an endorsement to, but that's my thesis.
And something to point out about that stock, Luke, we went over it on our last show. They give really high interest rates if you hold a certain amount of crypto. So that's something to look out for. I really think that institutions are going to have something to watch out for, because if you put your money into these brokers and you own a certain amount of crypto, you get the interest paid out every month. So that might have some money coming out of dividend stocks and over to crypto. Yep.
I mean, I think it's interesting. So, all right, Ruel, thank you for calling in and hit us with that one.
All right, one last thing. We're going to go over some more crypto stocks and stock picks on our next show next week. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Thanks so much for your time, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for dialing in, man. Always nice to chat. All right, guys. I'm going to keep us moving through our agenda. And, of course, I'm going to do another forward check because I can't help myself. Sorry. Just still hanging out right there. There's the one-day chart. All right, let's talk warrants a little bit. I'm gonna let's pull up a notepad so I can sort of write some things out as we're going through it. We'll grab Excel and do it in Excel. Use that to take notes. But the other day I asked, would it be helpful for us to do a lesson on warrants? The answer was overwhelmingly yes. So let's do that. Let's dig into that today, guys. And if you have questions about warrants, drop them in the chat. I'll make sure that we answer everything. There's no such thing as a bad question, generally speaking, which I guess means that by definition there is. But generally speaking, that there's no such thing as a bad question. So, all right, I bought warrants, if you guys recall, a few weeks ago on one of the Chamath SPACs. The ticker is IPOF. That's India Papa Oscar Foxtrot, IPOF. It's a pre-deal SPAC that Chamath runs. So let's start setting the framework here. So IPOF, the common stock. Let's just, again, we're sort of taking notes on this together, and let me throw you guys some more zooms here. All right, so we're gonna have the common shares. All right, let's grab a most recent price on IPOF. IPOF. Okay, so the stock last traded at what is that? $14.95. $14.95. All right, there's the price of the stock. Oops, there we go. And then they have warrants. Okay, so I'm gonna make this little warrant here. Warrant. There we go. And so I'm gonna put in what the warrant looks like on your brokerage. I mean, let's just pull up the live brokerage account and show exactly what it looks like. IPOF. And if you guys are just tuning in, we are going to do a new stock pitch here in a few minutes. But first we're doing a lesson on warrants. Where are those at? IPOF. We need to find these warrants. All right, we'll estimate what the name is. I've got all the notes here. But they're 11.5. It's going to say DES 3125. Okay, so when you're looking at the company name for these IPOF warrants, right, it's going to look something like this, like the cell that I have highlighted here. It says IPOF 11.5 DES 31 $25. Okay, and so let's break down what exactly that means. All right, so here's going to be our warrant section. Oops, Alt HBO. All right, so here's going to be our warrant section. So the common represented We're going to have the strike price, and we're going to have the date, and then we're going to have the warrant price. Okay. So these are warrants, as you can guess, for ticker IPOF, right? So a warrant, in essence, it acts very, very similar to a call option, but rather than being issued or going back and forth between traders, it's issued by the company. Okay, so it's basically it's you're paying for the right to buy the stock at a set price by a set date in the future, and it's the company who's giving you that right. Okay, so the ticker cover represented here is IPOF. The strike price is $11.50. Oops, and the date is 12/31/2025. So let's break down exactly what this means. HAR. Okay. So when we buy this warrant, we are paying for the right to acquire shares of IPOF for $11.50 per share sometime before December 31st, 2025. So let's do that again. One more time, right? We have this stock IPOF, right? It's trading at $15. When we buy the warrant, we are buying the right to acquire shares at some point in the future for $11.50. And it has to be before December 31st, 2025. That's what you're paying for when you buy the warrant. You're not buying shares of the stock. You're buying the right to acquire shares of the stock at some point in the future. And let's go look at the live portfolio here, and let's get a last price on these IPOF warrants. There's somewhere in this portfolio of ours, the live account we look at every single day. Tigers doing decent today. All right, where are you at, IPOF? Come on now, IPOD, IPOF. So last traded at $5.10. Okay. So there it is. So if you were to go out and buy these warrants today, right? Let's say you're buying one, you're going to pay $5.10 today, and you're acquiring the right to buy a share of the stock at $11.50 some point in the future before December 31st, 2025. Okay, so let's do some quick math on the break even. So you can buy the stock for $11.50. You're going to pay $5.10. So you need the price of the underlying. So you need the price of IPOF to be at least $16.60 for you to break even. The way that we get to that is I'll do it one more time, is you're spending $5.10 today for the right to buy the stock for $11.50 sometime in the future, which gets us to that $16.60 that you need the stock to be at to break even. All right, with the stock trading at $14.95 right now, you if you were to buy the warrant and then convert it to stock immediately, which you can do, you would be in the red. You'd be in the red about $1.60. So why would you buy the warrant is the question. I see a question in the chat that's saying, isn't that basically the same thing as options though? Yes, it is. It functions essentially exactly the same way as a call option, but the difference is that it's issued by the company rather than two traders going back and forth between each other. That's the difference between call options and warrants. All right. So why would you buy the warrant? So in the case of SPACs, right, these companies raise money and they have several years to do a deal, right? You buy SPACs because you speculate that when they merge with another company, the price of the stock is going to increase. That's the reason that people buy SPACs. It could be several years that you're hanging out and just sitting in this non-deal SPAC for again, years, right? You've got your capital locked up for years while you're waiting for this deal to happen. And so with warrants, you need to outlay less capital while you wait for that deal. So that's the pro, right? So the pro is less capital outlay while waiting for deal. Here's the con, is that if a deal doesn't happen, or if a deal happens and the price of the stock decreases, your warrant goes to zero, right? You're paying for the right to acquire a share of the stock for $11.50. If the stock is trading below $11.50, the warrant has no value, right? The stock's at $9. You would just buy the stock instead of converting the warrant at $11.50, right? It would be idiotic to do that. So the con is can go to 0 if price below the strike, right? So that's your con. I own the warrants for several of these SPACs that have a good track record of getting deals done. So I have some of the Gores warrants, because Gores has done several deals, and I have some of the Chamath warrants, because Chamath has done several deals. That's why I did that, right? And so let's say that you wanted the this IPOF as an example, right? Let's say you want to get upside potential on 100 shares. Right. So we'll just walk through a scenario. We'll call this the 100 share scenario. Right. So you have common, or let's do some more. So we'll have asset type. We'll have capital outlay today. And then we'll have upside percents. For let's say the stock, we'll do $20. So we'll call this upside percents, and we'll do the stock is at $20. We'll do the stock price gets up to $25. Okay. So, all right, if you want to buy the common stock and you want action on 100 shares, and you've got to lay out the money today, we just pulled up that the last price of IPOF is $14.95. So $14.95 times 100 shares means that you've got to spend $1,495 today. If you buy 100 warrants, we just looked at the last warrant price is $5.10. You want to buy 100 shares today, you're paying $510. Okay, but both of these are giving you action, upside potential on 100 shares of stock, on 100 shares of IPOF. Okay, if the price gets to $20 a share, right? Let's calculate some ROIs here. So the price gets to 20 from $14.95 divided by $14.95. So wait, what did I do wrong? Oops. So the price gets to 20 minus the $14.95 you're paying for the stock today, divided by the $14.95 that you're paying for the stock today. 4. All right, so you have 34% upside essentially with the common stock. With the warrants, let's do that scenario. So we're looking at the price getting to 20 minus the $5.10 that you're paying for the warrant today, minus your $11.50 strike price that you've got to buy the shares for, divided by the $5.10 that you're outlaying today. You can see that the upside on your capital is a decent bit higher, right? We're looking at, and let me just lock these in so we can drag it across here. There we go. And again, it sort of has to do with that efficiency, right? You're laying out less capital today in order to still have action on the shares. So if it goes to $25 for IPOF, you can see that you've got even more upside built in there, right? You have more upside with the common, you have even more with the warrants, but again, you sort of have some of that warrant leverage, just like you do with call options. I'm just going to warn the con, right? The big downside, the reason why you wouldn't do this is that your warrant can go to 0. It's unlikely that your common shares will go to 0. Could your common shares depreciate in price and go from the $15 you're buying it for today to $10? Yes, that could happen. Right? It's a very realistic scenario. We've seen it happen several times. You're down 33% then. But the warrants, if the common stock goes to $10, your warrants go from $5.10 to $0, right? They're totally useless. So that's the deal. Can you sell the warrants at any time? Yes, you can. Can you exercise the warrants whenever you want? More or less, there are some restrictions, but more or less, you can convert them to stock when you want. I just trade in and out of them. But that's the deal there. Okay, and Brad Moore's got a nice clarification there. You can trade them whenever you want. And that's what I do. I just trade in and out of them. Same thing that I do for call options, right? I don't usually take the stock. I just trade around the position once I get my price target. So that's the way that it goes. So there's our lesson on warrants, guys. If you guys like this, can you please hit the 1 in the chat? If you didn't like how we went through this, hit the 2. We can definitely do more of these educations, some more of these mini demos in the future. If you guys want this spreadsheet, I can send it over to you. Just shoot an email over to powerhour@benzinga.com. Again, that's powerhour@benzinga.com. I can do that. Somebody's saying, can you show the formula and sell D16 again? Yep, I can do that. Let me zoom out here so you can see the whole spreadsheet. There we go. Hit F2 here. There's the formula opened up. So your upside again is this is a scenario of the stock gets to $20 per share. Right. So you have $20 minus the $5.10 that you're paying for the warrants today, minus the $11.50. That's essentially the strike price of the warrants divided by the $5.10, that capital outlay that you're doing today. So there's the formula of how we calculate the return in the on capital. Another question, how do we get these warrants? Vicus is asking that in the chat. What brokerage are you using? If you tell us what brokerage you're on, I'm sure that somebody in ZingerNation will be able to give you a hand. How do you know the price of the warrants? It's typically the easiest way is that it's typically in the description. IPOF War. So let's search this on Interactive Brokers, right? IPOF War. That's how they do it. IPOF War. See, why can't we pull these up? All right, we're just going to click out of the live portfolio. It's just going to be gone for the rest of the day. All right, so there it is. So when I click through on my brokerage to like the stock lookup page for these warrants, right? You see that it's for IPOF. Again, if we go back to the spreadsheet, right? We have a field for the common stock represented. That's IPOF. We've got the strike price, $11.50. There that is. The date, December 31st, 2025. There it is. So that's how we have all the info on it. There is the warrant lesson. All right. There we have it. What time is it? 12:32. I think that means it is time to move on to our first guest. Oh, he just left the waiting room. All right, I was going to say that means that it times. Luke, you're going to do a comparison of brokers? Yeah. All right, sorry, I've been lazy. I'll do that next week. Broker comparison. If you send an email to powerhour@benzinga.com with things that you want us to do, we'll do it. Okay? Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna bring our first guest on in just a second here, guys. If you're just tuning in, a couple things that we have going on later in the show today. I'm gonna do a deep dive on a stock that I pitched yesterday, ticker LESL. I basically just mentioned the ticker yesterday. Today we're gonna go through the full thesis. We're gonna go through the numbers behind it, talk about why we like that name. I'm gonna make a live options trade on the show to establish my position on it, and I'd also like to get into CCIV. I want to do a little bit of valuation work on CCIV. Right, we just had some fun in Excel. I think it would be fun to do a little bit more Excel work today, and let's dig into that CCIV evaluation. That's obviously been a hot one. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring our next guest on. I see Rob's asking a question about the Cannabis Capital Conference, the MSOs. We're gonna have everything there, right? We're gonna have some of the MSOs there. If you don't know what MSO stands for, it stands for multi-state operator. It's a term used amongst cannabis companies. We're gonna have software companies there. We're gonna have accessory companies. We're gonna have services companies. Again, on this channel, the next 2 days, subscribe. If you are in the cannabis space or you want to get into the cannabis space, we're going to have 60 companies presenting over the next 2 days live, right? They're going to be out there. They're going to be fielding questions out of the chat. They're going to be saying, here's why you should choose to invest in this cannabis company. So some really cool stuff. But all right, without further ado, I'm going to bring our guest and I'm going to hit the drum roll. There it goes. All right, what's up, man? How you doing? Further ado, I'm going to bring our guest and I'm going to hit the drum roll. Could you mute your YouTube? We're hearing it twice. Right, what's up, man? How you doing?
Going on? I might
Did you mute your YouTube? Yep, we're hearing double. It's like turning down the radio in the car. We're working on it. Okay, so now we got everything muted. We just got to find the window that the YouTube video is in, and then we will be flying with Mr. Matt. Okay, so now we got everything muted. We just got to find the window. Oh, nope, still not. We're still getting that feedback. You should be hearing me once, not twice. Producer Rohan, I don't know if you're able to help. You know, he's a very tech-savvy guy. Oh, we lost it. All right. What should we? You know what? Let's do the chat challenge. And shout out to Mercurio in the chat saying this show is awesome. Let's go. We'll ring the cash register for that one. All right. While we wait to see if we can get Matt back on, producer Rohan, I see him typing away. Let's do an update on our chat challenge. Rohan, I know you're busy, but can you cue the video for the chat challenge? I mean, we have this cool video. Why not use it? ZingerNation is going head to head every single week. What is the best performing stock of the week going to be? Boom, there it is. There's our video, guys. Time for an update on our chat challenge. Again, like the video says, like I say every single day, this is ZingerNation going head to head to figure out who is the best stock picker in the group. Who can we take advice from? Who can we listen to? Who can call out these salacious tickers? Every week, guys, we're asking you what is the best performing stock of the week going to be. Some weeks we change it up, make it a little more fun. But the question of the week this week was, what is the best performing stock of the week going to be? That's what we asked you guys. We got 60 entries. The winner is getting whatever it is that they want from swag.benzinga.com. If you guys want to see the spreadsheet, I'm going to drop the link in the chat here. Go ahead, check it out. There it is. But we're going to throw it up here on the screen. I haven't even looked at it yet. I don't know how good of stock pickers you guys were this week. Here, let's make that full screen. We'll take my face off of it, and we'll throw another zoom on here too. All right, first entry, Sam picked CCIV to be the best performing stock of the week. Obviously not a great trade. Ruel picked a penny stock, sort of cheating, because it's up a penny, and that's 67%. We might have to give it to him. But let's see what else we have in here. Scrolling down, that 67% looks good. We saw a 15 there. There's another CCIV. Jesus, 3 CCIVs. That's no good. We don't want that. All right. I'm gonna say Ruel. He did call a penny stock, went from 2 to 3 cents. Yes, that is 67%. You know, we did not specify the universe that you can pick from, so we'll sort of call him the winner. But then also Brandy in the chat with the pick of THCB. THCB, Tango Hotel Charlie Bravo, up 18.07%. I don't even know what this stock is. It's got THC in the name. I'm guessing it's a cannabis stock. Tuscan Holdings. What is this? It's a SPAC. We got a SPAC. All right. So Ruel, you're winning. But Brady, since Ruel sort of cheated, I'm giving you the win on this one too. You're pulling the lead. We're going to check this one in on Friday, right? We got 2 days. That's a lot of market time for us to get a winner or a loser on here. Let's get some round of applause going. Let's get the air horns going. All right, Brandy, you're up right now. We'll see if you keep in it, guys. If you're down, you know you still have some room to go. And guys, do you want this warrant spreadsheet that we just went through? We sort of explained and laid out how the warrants work. If you do, drop a 1 in the chat. If you didn't. If you don't want to, let me know, because it's going to take me a minute to, I know no power hour on Friday. We'll figure it out, XII. Maybe we'll do it after hours. But if you guys want the spreadsheet, drop the 1 in the chat. It's going to take me a minute to upload it and make it all shareable and downloadable and that sort of thing. But if it's worth doing, I'll do it, because that's what ZingerNation is all about. And I'm going to make an ask for you guys on, which is like this stream, hit subscribe. I want to get this thing up to 1,000 viewers before Jason comes on and tears me apart for not getting any action going today. Share the stream, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Let's hit this thing. Let's go. I'm going to try the drum roll again. Let's bring our guests on. Let's get Matt on the Power Hour here with us. All right, y'all ready? There it is. There's the drum roll. What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Hey, I fixed it. It was a little bit of a technical issue, and I had the live stream up, but I couldn't figure out the audio. But it's all good because I'm here now.
Woo! Let's go. We got this figured out. Wait, where are you? This is a beautiful view.
It is a good view. I'm in Austin, Texas, man. So that's another thing that threw me off because you guys gave me the 12:30 time. I was like, oh, 12:30. I got time to go to the gym, and then I'm like, wait a second. I'm on a different time zone. I need to get back home.
Wait, so we screwed up your workout?
Nah, man. I still got a great Stairmaster climb in. We're good to go, man.
Hell yeah. All right, there you. I mean, you hit the Stairmaster. You only need 15 minutes. That's no 60-minute workout.
And our elevators have been out for the last week, so I'm getting like double workouts in. I'm getting 2 days in for the last week.
I mean that's basically double Stairmaster right there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Austin had like such tall buildings. Like, how many stories is the building that you're in right now?
38 floors.
Shit. All right. So Austin's got more going on than Detroit. And our tallest building is, I don't know, 50. Like our tallest maybe.
Detroit, is that where you're based out of?
That's where I'm at, man. I don't know how much you can really see behind me, but there's beautiful Detroit. I think the sun's sort of shining through.
Gorgeous.
So you can't see a ton, but
great view. Yeah. How you doing, man? Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm doing okay, right? We're green today, or at least I'm green today. I think most people probably are. I got hammered a little bit yesterday. It wasn't horrible, but a little bit. But how are you looking?
You, me, I think most people probably the last couple of days. No, it's good. I mean, yesterday was long overdue. I think it was one of those types of situations where people kind of expected it to happen sooner or later. At least I would think people would have expected that kind of action sooner or later. You can't just go straight up, right? You need to consolidate at some point. So I thought it was a fresh breath of air, a little digestion in the market and reset us for the end of the week.
Yeah. See what I think is hilarious, right? Is that, I mean, the SPY was down, S&P 500 is down about 1%, right? And it was like blood in the streets.
Isn't that funny how that works? Like the psychology behind it, because we've been straight up for like however long, and then the littlest fraction of a red day and everybody's like, oh my god, the sky is falling. It's funny.
Yeah, dude. Like my favorite is like SPY's up 1% and we're like, it's a flat day. We're pretty much flat today. It's down 1%. It's like, this is the beginning of the end. I'm buying gold.
we're so spoiled. This market makes people so spoiled. It's a little taste of reality. That's what I like to think of it that way anyway. But it's
Yeah, man. Like I saw a great tweet the other day, and basically the person was saying if you're new to the markets and you weren't already long in February 2020, March 2020, like that's nothing. I mean, I was so distracted in my life during March of 2020. Yeah. Right when the market corrects 25%. I mean, versus a 1% little blip, it's like okay.
It's funny. It's funny how it works. Yeah. What are you primarily trading right now?
So right now on watch all day today, I got my eyes glued to it is Ford. Ford is probably the stock that I'm longest. It was my 2021 pick of the year.
It had a great setup. I was looking at it earlier, actually.
Yeah. So check this out, right? So zoomed out to daily candles here. It's this freaking $12 mark, man. Yeah, that's the line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th day in basically 3 weeks that we're testing this thing. Yeah. Just needs to go.
It's a good setup. It's a great setup. You go back 10, 20 years. I mean, you're pretty much at the breakout spot right there at $12, $13. It's a great setup.
Yeah. We pulled that one up too. These are weekly candles that I have up now, and going back 5 years, and even like 3 years ago, it was this damn $12 level. Like, come on, baby, let's get this thing in motion.
Are you more of a fundamental or technical trader?
I'm way more fundamental, right? I do deep dives. I'm going to be pitching a stock in a little bit here. All fundamental based. But I respect the technicals. I like to use them to help set my stops, to help poise my entries. But I'm never making any decisions on just technicals. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the exact opposite. I'm pretty much like 85, 90% technicals and just a little bit of fundamentals. But like I'll follow, I know sectors, I know what the company does. I'll follow the news, but I'm not diving into earnings reports. I'm not breaking down numbers and filings and stuff like that. I'm looking at chart data and I'm interpreting the chart data and the patterns that I see and making my decisions based around that. So it's interesting.
Oh yeah, man.
Like everybody has a different approach to it. Like some people are straight fundamental. Some people like me, primarily technical. And
I'm doing this fundamental shit where I'm like going through new investor decks and like finding numbers that they haven't disclosed before and shit like that. So
that's funny. Yeah. Wow, yeah, you're deep in there.
We make a good combo then.
Nice.
So what's on your radar today? I'm looking at the world through a fundamental lens. What's on your radar looking at it through a technical lens?
My radar was pretty much just the S&P, the broad market, seeing if we can get a little bit of follow through because we had a strong, decent close, relatively speaking, yesterday. So that was really my main thing today. I'm just patient right now. I got to be perfectly honest. There's not too much that I was real foot on the gas for the month of, really November, December, January. And now that the market's kind of giving me those early signals of a little bit of choppiness, at least in the stuff that I primarily trade, which is.
And are you? Yeah. Do you normally trade the S&Ps or what do you normally trade?
Yeah, it all depends, right? I trade stuff as large as Amazon, and I'll trade stuff that is sub penny. It just depends on what is presented, what comes up on scan, what comes up on my radar. But right now, it's really the most lucrative stuff I find, especially the last year or so, has been that mid to small cap stuff, like for example, PLUG that goes from like a couple bucks up to $70 or fuel cell, like stocks like that. They're in the right place at the right time. Great sector, great theme, and then you've got the great chart set up to go with it. So that's kind of my bread and butter. And now,
so I would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind running us through like the whole thought process. Like you're mentioning plug, right? Sure. How do you find these stocks? What makes you want to actually get long it, get into the name, etc.?
Sure. So like you're saying, you're a fundamental guy. Yep. For me, there's a sprinkle of fundamentals. There's not much, but there's a sprinkle. And so there's a few ingredients that I talk about to my audience, my Twitter followers, whatever. And it's something like this. The big ingredients for the top plays that I'll end up making trades on. They'll fall in a sector that's hot. It's got a great forward-looking catalyst, perhaps 3, 6, 12 months out. Relatively close, or it's not far enough away where it's kind of out of touch with reality. It's close enough. So with electric vehicles and hydrogen fuel cells and just the whole green energy sector as a whole, last year we had a lot of news with Joe Biden and even President Trump at the time talking about revolutionizing the green energy space. So that was a huge theme all of last year. So you saw a lot of the small caps, which are now kind of large caps in a way. It's funny how that works. But last year, these small caps like fuel cell or plug or
those names have been so hot. Like I've already got plug up. So let's just use this one as an example. Let's pull up the 1 year and maybe even the 1 year chart does it.
Yeah. So you're looking out for the kind of that bottom reversal. There's certain ways, and I won't get into it too much, but there's certain inflection points that you watch in the chart. And as it kind of rounds up and breaks these inflection points, and you're in that hot sector and the theme's going to be hot for the foreseeable future, it's time to position. It's time to get in and ride it up. And I'm not someone that holds the whole way up. I wish I could say, I had a $5 average or something like that. I traded along the way. I make the move, and then it consolidates for a couple weeks or perhaps a couple months. And then I time up the next breakout and then make another trade on it. And really last year, the word easy with trading is never, I think it's inappropriate. But last year, I think we can all kind of agree, especially for you. I know you've been trading quite a while. I've been trading 8 years. Last year with stuff like this, like it was easy.
I think you can use easy.
In this context, right?
Yeah, and something I've been saying too, and check this stat out, right? Is this is sort of a BZ exclusive stat, because as we track the number of people who go from Benzinga.com to click and then open a new brokerage account. Right. Oh, so from before COVID to the COVID boom, that number doubled, right? 100%.
Wow. Yeah.
From that doubling to GameStop, that number increased an additional 400%. So it's up 800% basically versus pre-COVID. And I think that this is going to be the year where a lot of people have a realization of, shit, it's not this easy always.
Right,
And we
right,
saw
yeah.
that yesterday.
I know, and that's the message that I'm constantly trying to burn into people's brains. It's like, it was fun. I'm the first person that wants it to last forever because that would be amazing. You know, we could all retire and you know, Turks and Caicos in a year, but that's not the reality. That's not how it works. That there's kind of like the laws of physics and the laws of thermodynamics. There's kind of a law of the stock market, right? And now that you have all this influx of retail money and retail traders and everybody wants to be involved at some point, and again, I'm not like making some prediction of a time, but I just in the future, at some point, there's going to need to be a washout. There's going to need to be some humility check back into the masses, because right now it's not supposed to be easy, and it's not. I'll tell you that right now. You know that. Anybody who's traded any period of time understands that, but it's kind of that difference between knowing and really understanding, and that's where I think we're at with the market.
Yep. So all right. So you mentioned up top basically, and we have a lot of speculation in the chat about the mustache. Is this a COVID stash? Are you always rocking it? The somebody even said if you guys like the mustache, hit one. There was a wave of ones that happened after they posted that. But will you give us, like, you know, should we long the stash? Should we short the stash?
No,
I mean, what's
we're
the move there?
long. We're long mustache.
Let's go. All right. Hold on.
It's not something you want to get stuck. Yeah, there we go. Fired up, baby. It's not something you want to get stuck short on, the mustache. That's not something you want to get squeezed on.
Yes.
We have been squeezing shorts for like 8 months. So
Yep.
I would advise against it. You thought GameStop was bad and Melvin Capital. I would not. No, don't do it, guys.
Boom. There we go.
It's just
All right.
the truth.
So some look at this. I don't know if you can see the screen, but somebody's saying flex no stash. That needs to be the new handle. Let's go. Yes, we are all behind it. Okay, here's out of the money calls on the stash. All right.
How far are we talking? Are we doing leaps? Is it
We're doing leaps, baby. We're running the leaps out.
All right,
2022s.
I love it. Yeah, no.
All right. And shout out Lynn. All right, Lynn representing. Okay, I get some love.
It actually started as a joke, and my girlfriend was like, I kind of like it. Like, I showed up with the mustache thinking that, you know, she was going to be like, oh, get rid of it. And she loved it. And I was like, I kind of like it too. And that was like May last year. And I've just had it since. So we're long.
All right. So we're long the stash. And then at the top of you hopping on with us, we talked about SPY, SPY. You said that's what you're watching. Can you tell us a little bit more as to what you're watching in SPY?
Yeah, well, today, it pretty much did exactly what I wanted it to do, which was follow through. It was perfect that it gapped down just a little bit. And then that morning weakness, one of my strategies is when you have a decent close, a strong hammer close, you're closing toward the high of the day. And then you get a relatively weak open, say it gaps down a little bit. And then if it inches back up toward the previous high of day, I kind of time it up to get into that break so I can make a trade off that break and a little bit of follow through momentum. So that was really the trade that I made today. And that's honestly about it. I've been positioned.
Okay. So basically, wait, let me try to recap it.
Yeah, sure.
Right. You're faster than I am. So you saw the strong close. So that was the first positive indicator.
Yes.
You saw some of the momentum riding today, especially with Jay Powell, talking some Fed.
Sure.
And so that's what triggered you to get into the trade. Is that right?
Yeah, so I have skin in the game yesterday, just a small starter type of position.
Okay.
This morning's gap down, so it's a little bit of weakness. But then we gap down as we inch toward yesterday's high, which yesterday's high on SPY was, let's just call it 390 or 389.
389 is what I see, yeah.
As we inch up toward that, I'll scale into that. So I just play end of week. So this Friday, and I was playing the 380 call. So I'm in the money, so I don't need to worry about all the Greeks and stuff. I'm trading dang near intrinsic value. So, if I get a couple bucks on SPY, I get a couple bucks on my options contracts, bada bing, bada boom, that's my trade, and I can hang it up for the day.
Okay, and why do you choose to do the in-the-money calls versus buying the ETF itself? Is it basically the capital efficiency that you get?
That's right on money, yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. I call it like a little bit of a cheat code because, I would need millions and tens of millions of dollars to make that same relative amount of money. If I'm trading a contract that's trading at $7 or $8, and I can buy 40, 50,000 of that contract, that equivalent would be hundreds of thousands or a couple
millions.
$1,000,000.
Yeah, you would love this. Check out my screen. We just did right before you came on. We just talked about warrants and why I choose to buy warrants in some of these pre-deal SPACs versus the common stock, and it's the exact same principle. It's the derivatives give you that capital efficiency.
The capital efficiency.
And just like the warrants, right? Like IPOF on the example, if the price of the stock goes below 1150, we're screwed. Right, our warrants are worthless.
Right.
And same thing for you. If SPY goes below 380, if SPY goes below 380, we're all screwed a little bit.
If SPY went below 380,
and you manage the trade, I would imagine, before you even get close to that.
Yeah, we would have more problems to worry about if SPY was below 380 today.
In 3 days.
There'd be a lot going on. There would be something going on. So yeah, it's just safer. It's just smarter. There's less risk. I'm all about looking for the risk to reward ratio on trades. So if it's something that, I have a little bit less risk and decent reward, I mean, that's going to be my pick every time. There's no sense for me going out of the money, end of the week. It's just, I'm safe.
And let me ask you this. Did you pick the 380 strike because of this low that we had that almost touched it yesterday?
I picked the 380 strike because it's a nice round number. And I think
it's liquid.
It was liquid, nice round numbers. The round numbers are always going to have the highest liquidity, especially the end of the week contracts on something like SPY. It's trading. It wasn't trading exactly intrinsic value, but it was pretty close. It was probably only like a 20% premium or 15% premium. So it's pretty close to the intrinsic value. So for me, the math is just easy in my head. Generally speaking, $1 up in SPY is $1 up on my contracts. It's just easy. It's just less work. Less work and I'm all about trying to make money trading by doing less work, and that's less work for me.
I like it. That's not only capital efficient but mind efficient as well. How's that?
Exactly. Yep.
All right, man. And guys, if you didn't smash the like for me, which I'm looking at the number, a lot of you chose not to. That's fine. I don't care, right? We got 700 viewers. We got 127 likes. You have to at least smash the like button for the stash. I mean, we got the question answered. We're along the stash. We're hitting the leaps on it. We're talking some SPY. And let me ask you one last question, Matt. You're still in this SPY trade, it sounds like. What's going to cause you to get out of it, both on the upside and the downside?
Yeah, I'd scaled out 2/3 of my position.
Okay.
I sold like 60 or 70% of my position. And I'm just kind of letting it ride at this point. I mean, it's a strong candle, strong intraday action. So I've got what I call freebies. I've got some freebies on the table. So I'm just kind of letting the trade work. But again, it's not one of those like home run types of trades. It's not like an A+ type trade. But as far as a day trade, it's working for itself. So I'll probably carry it into tomorrow, depending on how we close. If we went red, I'd probably cut it and just move on. But yeah.
All right. There we have it. Matt, thanks for hanging out. We cut into your Stairmaster workout. But again, my opinion with the Stairmaster is you only need 10 minutes on it. That's a full hour of anything else. Dialing in from beautiful Austin.
I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Hopefully I can come back sometime without audio technical issues.
Hey, we worked it out. That's what ZingerNation is all about. We worked through stuff. We worked through ideas. We figured it out. We got it there. We got some trade ideas. Let's go.
Adversity for the day.
All right. Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, take care, man.
Cool.
I'm just calling me a special guest today.
Oh yeah?
Yep, special guest. I like the music, and I know some of these people don't like the music, so I'm just a special guest. How you be?
Good, man. We just did an on-the-fly lesson in warrants. We built out a whole spreadsheet together. Everybody's saying share it with us, so I'll figure out how to upload that in a minute here. What?
Yeah, you've blown up our fucking email addresses. I mean, there's 71 emails in for the warrant spreadsheet. 71. Okay, so I had to pick up all the emails.
Luke delivers, baby.
I mean, I had to pick all these email addresses up, dig out of it, and and then I got even DMs on my Jason Raznick Twitter. So it is
surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, there you go. So that's where I still don't have a soundboard. I don't know what I have to do. Maybe it's going to cost me $25,000.
You need XII right? We just fly him in here for 2 hours. I guarantee you'll have a soundboard.
I would love to fly him in here. I offered to fly Internet Enforcers in, who I fought with on the fucking thing. So,
well, Internet Enforcers is going to call in. We're doing the user calls at the top every day. It gets us warmed up. We get to hear from the community. We get more ideas flowing. I say Internet Enforcers, call in. Let's talk some stocks, but I'm still waiting.
So Phil Bortman has been texting. We should probably bring him on right now, but he's been making some trades today. Ooh. He bought more. BIGC is up like 7%. It got hurt after earnings went to 71 from 66 to 71. Then yesterday in the sell-off, it got crushed. And then I just deleted his text, by the way, so can't even show it to you now. I was trying to clean up my text because I was like,
why do you delete texts? I don't. Because it's stored in the cloud.
I'll tell you why. It's so annoying to scroll down. Like I get enough texts that I miss so many. I'm tired of scrolling down, so I just delete even texts from my wife to this. I don't even care. I know I missed the history now out of it, but I'm done.
I always leave it because then I can search for keywords, right? Like sometimes you'll say to me, who is the guy that we talked to that worked at this company, and then I'll type in the company name in the text, and it'll pop it up.
Got it. And you made a mistake today.
I make mistakes every day.
Well, you did an email mistake. This is hilarious. You wrote an email for no, it's not even your mistake, to be honest. I don't think, but it's really weird. You wrote wait, Wingstop is approaching. I may have to tell the guy. Wait, hold on, let me just make sure.
All right, now you're gonna make me do my Ford check. Oh God, come on, Ford.
What's Ford? I sold some Ford yesterday. Is that a bad move?
It's at 12:01.
Shit, it was at 11.83 when I sold it.
All right. I mean, it's like, okay, Jason, check this out. So here's a 1 month chart on Ford right now, or let me go out a little more.
Oh, here's
a 3 month. Here's a 3 month. Look at this $12, right? It like just keeps getting stopped at $12. Now this is gonna blow your mind even more. I'm gonna go out to 5-year chart. $12 is where it got stopped last time, 3 years ago. It's like this damn $12 level in Ford. It just needs to get above it and keep running. That's what I've been waiting on all day. 3 years back, this resistance is holding up. But all right, what was the email mistake? You can't just leave me hanging, and then we're gonna have Joe from Titan coming on in just a second here.
Okay.
But so what was the email mistake?
You sent a calendar invite to tidy up the office or something for Friday at 4:30.
Yes, our office is a little bit
cluttered. All right, I understand, but this is a neat text I did not delete. Can you read?
Who did I put on it? Okay, who is it? Who did I accidentally put on it?
This guy Rory Spence, who works at Quicken Loans and sponsorship stuff, like the golf stuff. It says you've invited. It says it was in his it's on it. Rory Spence calendar. Quicken Loan. Yeah, you put him on it. I see in the invite instead of you. It says R. Maybe you must put someone else, but yeah.
Wait. Okay. Wait. No, I don't want to see who did I intend to put on it. Who got out of it? Oh, I put him on it instead of Rohan. I must have typed RO and just hit enter.
But yeah, I definitely got the invite. But
how did he get it then? I don't know how he got it. That's funny.
Well, tell him yes. I've got gift cards. He gets a $5 Starbucks card if he comes to help.
What about, he says 10.
10. All right, fine. Deal. 10. All right.
All right.
ZingerNation, anybody out there, if you want to come help, is Quicken RKT? Yes, it is. Maybe that's a bad sign for the stock if they're going to come help clean our office. But if you guys want to come help clean up the Benzinga office, you are all entitled to Starbucks gift cards. Just shoot that Power Hour email again. You can abuse it a little more, and we'll come hang out.
Okay, and Luke, I got so that was Rory, yes, from there. But Hatabla Kania, I answered your question yesterday. I took care of your problems. Avoid the F word. Why would I avoid the F word? It's just another word in the dictionary. That's all I know. It's just I don't know. It's another word in the dictionary. I don't see why to avoid that word. It's actually used for a lot of different things: noun, adjectives, verbs. All right.
Yeah. No. I mean, adjective. Yeah. Verb is the more important one.
Yeah. The verb. So yeah, sorry if it's not if you have time. We're not going to please everyone. I understand, but yeah, I'm not going to avoid that word. It's just another word in the dictionary. For some reason, when we were kids, society said that was a swear word. I don't know why. When you're a kid and you're innocent, you're born in this world. Why is that a swear? It's just another word. Should I avoid this word too? Go. Should I avoid that word?
Jason, don't say this is a family show. Don't say that one.
I can't say Google. Yeah. Should I
Come on,
avoid the word
Jason.
Benzinga?
I mean, the F word at least, has some some action attached to it.
Jerry will supervise our cleanup. Yeah, have some action. So no, but there's a lot of things you can do with it, is what I'm saying. Like, not even just the action. It's like, oh, that fucking hurts. Oh, I mean, I did the whole thing a few days ago. I don't need to do it again.
All right. Drum roll for this one. I'm coming through. I'm delivering for ZingerNation. There it is. There's the link. I just dropped it in. You can all download the Warrant spreadsheet there. Look at that little tool. We made it on the fly.
Wait, why do people tell me, like, Cactus Reed, Earl said, Jason, I never received a prize I won. Okay, so email powerhour@benzinga.com. The team will take care of you. The team will take care of you.
You see Aaron Bryan in the chat all day. Producer AB, he delivers.
We are a team. We are a team, and no one is, it's all about the team. All right, so now let's talk about those two stuff. Wait, we have a guest here.
Yeah, we have a guest. We got Joe from Titan. He's ready to roll.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
And then I'm gonna dig deep into Leslie's. I've got the numbers. I got the investor deck up, so we're gonna go after that one too.
I bought Leslie's.
But all right, let's do some sound effects here while we bring Joe on. There we go. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? I love the sound effects.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're talking F word. We're talking sound effects. Somebody in the chat said, "Hey, will you get back to stocks?" And I'm like, "All right, time to get Joe in here." That's
the you gave me the Hot 97 original, like OG, like,
exactly. That's the one.
There you go. Yeah, I adore that. That's the noise I was used to get introduced.
Yep. All right, there we go. I like it.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I mean, you're coming on in a hot week.
Hot
right?
Stocks Luke. Thanks for having me.
For sure. I mean, we had a 1% dip yesterday.
Okay.
But it was like blood in the streets a little bit. At least that's what our community was telling us. I'm curious what you heard, opinions that you have, etc.
No, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy time in the market. Like we're, everyone's still seeing the fallout of what was going on with GameStop. Major question that everyone's thinking through is like, what's the next one? Like, what is the next security? Everyone's going to mass organize with, drive it up, try to stick it to the hedge fund guys. So that's sort of like the question of the month.
Yep. Yes, exactly. And Joe, I didn't do you justice. I didn't really give you a good real intro, but guys, I assume that he needs no intro. That's why I didn't do it. But Joe's the CEO, co-founder of Titan. Can you just tell us a little bit about the business, a little bit about your background, and then we'll dig into the market a little bit?
Yeah, we're an elite investment firm, but built for everyone. We manage about $500 million for 25,000 clients. Hopefully we'll be crossing our first $1 billion of assets this summer. We have two strategies on our platform. One is called Flagship. We look at the big compounders. So think like Apple, TransDigm, Netflix. So variety of long-term Buffett-like businesses in terms of those stocks. Then we have another strategy called Titan Opportunities. That's where we look at under the radar, 10 billion market cap companies that we think are going to be the next rising stars. So that ranges from stocks like Upwork to Roku to New York Times. So we're pretty much like long-term fundamental Buffett-like guys in terms of how we think about our investment strategy. But yeah, it's really fun.
Well, you said like elite strategy. Can you dig into a little bit more as to what you mean by that?
Yeah, so we have a very old school approach for how we think about investing in stocks. We ultimately look at them like businesses. So we think about like owning a security of a stock as if you were owning like a local pizza shop or lemonade stand. Like you own a small slice. What will the cash flows be of this thing 5 years down the road? And hence, in terms of the rigor that you need to do to actually figure out whether the stock should be something you invest in, usually end up saying no 9 times out of 10. So we looked at a lot of the hot IPOs last year, from Airbnb to DoorDash. We passed on all of them for now. We do dozens of hours of research for any single investment run by our chief investment officer, Clay. And ultimately it boils down to, in the thousands of stock universe, we pick the 20 we like the most in Flagship, 20 we like the most in Opportunities, and that's how we run Titan.
Okay, I like it, and let's talk about DoorDash for a minute because we haven't talked about that one in a second.
No, Luke, I wanted to go to a non-stock question again, but you go. Okay, Luke. Fine.
Let's do the
Yeah.
Jason, hit it, and we'll go to DoorDash.
Okay, so my non-stock question is: you guys started about 2.5 years ago?
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. I remember, and it was to look at the insiders, the whales, the hedge fund managers, and and follow them into stocks. Right? That was like the original.
That was like the OG. That's how we operated a few years ago. Then we've evolved since.
But so that was I'm moving. I know, guys. That light's bothering me, man.
Okay.
It's right over my freaking head. Like, see that light right there? I'm like freaking annoyed by it. But anyway,
I've got fake plant back here.
Oh, you got fake plant.
We're long the fake plant. All right.
I'm long fake plants.
Joe, I even have a camera in the ceiling up here, but I don't know how to turn it on. It's like a remote, and I could it's pretty cool. But
let's get what's that? The Guillermo del Toro shot on you.
Yeah, that's what I tried, but I don't know how to do it. So, but okay, so you started as a place to follow the whales into stocks. Okay. How long did you keep that as the thing? I know you said that was the OG. I'm about the OG. I'm an original gangster. That's what I am. Like, I'll play it out easy E. I'll challenge you in those raps. So I'm original. Sure. So just tell me, when did you change it?
It's very so like stepping back. The reason we started this thing was we basically asked the question, like, why can't everyone get into Bridgewater Associates, which is run by Ray Dalio? It's about it's a $250 million minimum.
You mean Uncle Ray?
Uncle Ray. So why? So like our Titan started with a question, which was the next Bridgewater, Blackstone, you name it, should probably be built off a mobile technology in an app with no minimums, and anyone can join. And so we were like, okay, in the journey to be the next Blackstone, Bridgewater for everyone, where do we start? It's a really long journey. And we said, okay, before we build out a full investment team, let's do a lightweight strategy to see if people would even be interested. What's called test the market. You ship a very lightweight product. That was the first strategy. People loved it. And we said, okay, if you like our quantitative strategy, which was scraping based off of 13Fs, we think you're gonna love when we're totally discretionary with a full out investment team reacting more than just once a quarter. So we evolved that flagship strategy to go from 13F scraping to be discretionary. And then from there, we launched another strategy called Opportunities to go after small cap. We're going to be launching several other strategies this year to full out our investment team.
Got it. Okay, so how long was it when it was just the first part? How many months?
It was probably for at least a year and a half. So
okay. And when you guys started, were you guys already like registered, whatever? I mean, what do you have to be to do this? You have to, are you not?
Yeah, we're an SEC registered investment advisor. And then we're building out our broker-dealer business too. So we'll be both what's called an RIA and a BD. And the primary way we service people is via mobile app.
And why do you need to be a BD if you can just do it with an RIA? Just better.
There are certain products. So if we eventually want to be able to have more management over like a bond product, or if we want to launch crypto and other sorts of asset classes like that, legally you can't just be an RIA, you have to be a BD. So we're doing it because we're really excited to launch stuff, not just in equities, but just apply the same Buffett-like thinking to other asset classes.
But how would you apply like that? Like you mentioned crypto for a second. How would you think about crypto with like a Buffett type mentality? Like that's something that I have a hard time wrapping my head around.
For sure. And it's very challenging because it's not like if ultimately what you look to do is predict cash flows. So whether you're looking at Apple, DoorDash, or New York Times, your job is to say, how much cash is this thing going to print for me as an owner? And how much probability do I have about that? That's as if you're going to buy a slice of the New York Mets, favorite sports team, you name it. So with crypto, it's a little different. So with crypto, it requires fundamentally betting on technology and use cases. So it's like you can apply the same muscle as a long-term thinker, but it's sort of a bit of a different beast. And so the way we think about that investment team is less people trained on discounted cash flow analysis, rigorously reading 10K filings, and more of people with a more engineering bend. Of these different protocols, which technologies would we want to bet on? And then hence it's why it's only, equities could be 80% of the portfolio. It's why you only do crypto, anywhere between 2 to 10%.
Okay, all right. So that's interesting, and so basically you're digging deep into the actual application of the technology, like which crypto is going to have the community behind it, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's how we're thinking about doing it. When we launch it, either later this year or early next, so we're going to bring on someone. We're going to poach someone from a crypto hedge fund to manage capital for everyday people, and ultimately like that's why we started Titan, which was. I was at Goldman Sachs with Clay, my co-CEO. We were just getting pings from, our friends back home. He's from inner city Chicago. I'm from New Jersey. And they were like, how do I manage my money like you do in New York? And we were said like, look, like just buy an ETF. The minimums are too high, like blah, blah, blah. And they were like, screw this. How do we build an organization where we can poach all of our smartest friends from Citadel, Point72, you name it, and make them go manage money for our friends in Jersey and Chicago. And so it's really exciting that we're going to start interviewing people at some of the biggest crypto hedge funds in the United States and saying, stop managing money for institutions. We're going to go launch an actively managed crypto product for whomever cares with $100 minimum.
No, I love that. I love that. I do got to show you something, Joe. Watch.
Go for it.
Check this out. I got the camera going now. What's up? I can walk around. I can move. I can dance.
There you are. I love it.
He zoomed in on me too. I can zoom in. Wow, I didn't even know that. Magic. Okay.
This is great. I love we got the exposed brick view.
Wait. Have the camera circle the office. Move the camera around so you can like see the office.
All right, if you have motion sickness, then close your eyes.
Yeah, don't go so fast. You miss the people next to me. There's people next to me.
There I am.
I love this.
But go back and show the people next to me sitting here. We got a new guy. I don't even know if I know his name fully next to me. James or Jimmy next to me. Where's James? Come on. Show James. You're showing me. Show James. There he is. Nope, that's not him. Oh, yeah, it is him. Okay. So there you go.
This is great. James looks stoked today. How do we get James on Power?
How do I get James on? James can't hear this right now. He's looking. He's confused.
Ask him what his favorite stock is, Jason. Then
what's your favorite stocks, James? And then we'll decide.
Wait, we're doing a pitch. All right. Favorite stock long and what would you short?
All right, come on, James. What do you got?
Yeah. He's got to do a full.
Bring him on.
Look at the camera.
We need.
Okay, you listen. Talking to my face. Wait, you want his best long? You said okay. They want to know your best
long. I would probably go with Palantir. As far as short, kind of looking at the airlines for the rest of the year.
Talking to the mic more. Say it.
All right, so it was Palantir long. We didn't get a reason why. Short was airlines. Yes, I can maybe get behind the airline short a little bit. No opinion either way.
Specifically maybe like Spirit Airlines. Been looking at that for the rest of the year.
See, but of the airlines, I actually maybe like Spirit the best because I think that like consumer travel is probably going to increase before business, and Spirit does more of that recreational travel versus business travel. Which is why I sort of like of the group, Spirit is one that I like more.
Yeah.
James' rebuttal. What is he gonna say?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, how are you coming back at that? I just shit all over your Spirit a little bit. Yeah. Like, what's your?
No, I apologize. I'll definitely give my opinion, but I could not hear. I could only hear Luke.
All right, so Joe's saying why do you like Spirit? I said, why don't you like Spirit? I said of the group, I sort of like that one because I picture recreational travel coming back more quickly than business travel. Right? I think it's gonna be a while before Manhattan office buildings fill up and people are flying to go do these in-person meetings. So if I had to pick one long, it would probably be Spirit. But why do you like it on the short side?
Yeah, just kind of some context on why I like Spirit. I would say specifically just thinking about like even spring breakers. It's going to be hot. Spirit going down to Fort Lauderdale, going down to Miami. My girlfriend and I are flying Spirit. So just thinking about the short term where people are going to Florida, probably flying Spirit.
I thought Spirit was the short pick.
Wait. He said Spirit was a short. What are you talking about?
No, short term outlook.
Okay. Didn't you all he is not speaking clear because I was punching him in the head because Spirit is one of my fifth biggest position. I bought it. I was down 15%. Now I'm up 42%, and I'm going to be up 200% because it's going to rise. It is the travel airlines for fun, and people are going to go on vacations. I was just in Florida, and it was packed, and then you couldn't even get on an airplane. It was so packed, I can't even tell you. Spirit is going to continue to ride. I own call options. I own the stock. I'm biased to it. And I thought he said he was short it. So I'm sitting there punching you in the head over your head right now and doing, yeah. And you're terminology. We got to work on his terminology here. Okay. We'll work on that. All right.
Yeah,
you're done. You're done. You're cut off, man. See?
Hey, it was his debut.
It was
Joe
fake
put
debut.
him up to it. When Joe comes, madness ensues. I think that's the real
takeaway. You gotta put them on the spot. You gotta get their picks.
Yeah. Well, and then producer Rohan, will you put the camera back on and just zoom out a little bit so Joe can see our office a little bit? Like he wants to see the office.
We're going to tour. This is where the magic
zoom out a little bit, like, and show another guy sitting across. There you go.
Okay.
It's not that crowded. And then turn the camera and show them the other part of the office. So that's the office is like people are mostly at home.
Wow. Where is it? Chicago or New York?
Neither, man. That's why you don't know us. Like if we were in New York, we'd probably be best friends. You would want to hang out every day.
Yeah, I would have asked for the personal invite to come see the office.
No, you'd want to hang out. You don't go to dinner
you still
every
get
night.
the invite.
You still get the invite. We're in downtown Detroit, Michigan.
I love that. Right.
We're all about the D.
Yeah. Go Lions. There we go. Who's this? We got.
Yeah, that's Aaron. But okay, so Joe, I love what you're doing. It's awesome, and it's a mobile first approach. So, for example, for my crypto investing, I just buy the USDC because I like the 8.7% interest, and it's like the stable coin. But having a hedge fund type people that can give me access to those returns, not promised, is what's needed in this space.
Yeah, and read the protocols, like as you said.
Yeah, and I'm being honest, like I didn't know the change in business this whole time. I didn't know. I thought Titan was the insider, the big whales, and that's what it was, and that was it. That's what I thought until you just told me.
Yeah, goal is to be the next Bridgewater, Blackstone, what have you. The sort of the active investment manager. Like there hasn't been one been built since Fidelity, which was let's remember Fidelity was like a sexy company in the 80s, but ultimately mutual funds went out of favor. So the big outstanding question is right now in consumer fintech, super hot space, all eyeballs are on all these trading apps, social trading, you name it. And like ultimately speaking, the big gap is who's going to be the next Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Blackstone, Bridgewater, giant. It's almost like the Airbnb of the category is yet to be built.
Got it.
And our hope is to be that for everyone.
Yeah,
but not Airbnb.
Joe,
not Airbnb.
Can you read the messages put up on the screen? I don't know if you can see it or not.
No, I'm saying, Joe. I'm saying not Airbnb because you're not crowdsourcing the picks.
Correct. This is Refined Warrior. I'm coming at you in a sec. The Airbnb analogy is an interesting one because our step one is to do it ourselves. We're going to bring on investment people. We're going to hire them. We activate people looking to manage capital. Step two is we're already getting inbounds from legacy managers, maybe manage about 750 million to 2 billion. And they say, hey, wait, all of my clients are boomers. I know eventually if I'm going to survive, I need to manage millennial capital. And you have a mobile app. Can I put my product on Titan?
Got it.
So that's where right now it's using Airbnb analogy. We're listing our first class rental apartments, houses ourselves. And then we're going to say, hey, who wants to list theirs too if you want to manage capital? So that's like the master plan, stays within these four walls. Don't share it. Refined Warrior, you asked a question.
She Refined Warrior, the comment that Luke put in, she just opened an account. That's all. She signed up. And that's what she did. Refined Warrior.
I wish I had the noise button for her.
Yeah, Luke, come on, do me a noise.
Hit the noise button.
Let's go. There it is. Wait, I got another one. Running the cash register.
The register, the one needs to be a little louder. Joe, how many people work there?
We will be 22 by the end of the quarter, and then probably 35, 40 by summer.
And you were at Goldman before?
I was at Goldman, McKinsey, helped start a different hedge fund, not for everyday people. That was on the institutional side.
And are you boys with Ashton Kutcher?
He's an investor in us. I wouldn't necessarily say we're boys, but he definitely, him and his team are, super excited about us.
Well, if I was in New York, we'd be boys. So you and I
love it.
Or if Joe was in Detroit.
Yeah,
don't discount Detroit.
When am I getting flown out to come to the office and do games? We can do a redo of his stock pitch.
You're right. He does need a redo. Dave Portnoy came out here for 3 weeks just to hang out with us,
I love that.
or he was opening up sports betting in the Greektown Casino. But I thought it was to hang out with us, even though we saw him only like twice. But
yeah, my only connection to Detroit is the running back of my high school in New Jersey was the running back for the Lions. His name's Theo Riddick. That's my only connection for Detroit.
All right, there we go.
Is he still there?
He might. I know as of a few years ago, he was playing a lot in the wildcat position. I don't know if it's kept him on, but he's great.
So regarding that, the running back, I bought in an auction for the running back of the Lions, Kerryon Johnson, to play an Xbox game with my son Josh, like in person, and like we haven't scheduled it yet, but I guess we should do it probably soon.
I love that.
Yeah, so that
was like 3 months ago.
I know. I haven't thought about any of that stuff. So all right,
we need to do all the Miami stuff that we're seeing with like everyone moved to Miami. How do we do that before Detroit? You know?
Yeah, that's dude. I was in Miami for like off and on for the last month or two. I was in there for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I didn't know how I was coming back. If I didn't coach a flag football team, it would have been hard for me to come back here. I coach a flag football team. I'm actually so you should come watch one of our games. Big game this weekend, championship game against the CEO of United Shore Mortgage, UMWC or UWMC.
We got to rough them up. What are we thinking the game plan is? We go into 2-man zone or?
So
first,
it's 5-on-5. It's 9-year-olds. What did you say, Luke?
I was gonna say the first thing you need to do is you need to get a big loan and short like $200 million of stock on Friday into the close, right? Drive the stock price down 65% to get in his head, right? It's like football is a psychological game. That's where you start. Then you take it into the Saturday strategy.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I put it on Wall Street bets. Come on.
Yeah. So it's 5-5. He has 2 really good players on his team. Really good, 2 really good, and there's a third. And they give. I watched the video from the last game. The ball was given 4%, 90%, Luke, to those 2 players. Okay,
yeah.
literally.
I love the money ball approach to 9-year-old flag football. Brilliant.
If you only knew how I recruited for the team. If you only knew, and I will not. Just like
we doing like Reese's Pieces advanced for Halloween candy. Like, how's this work?
You're good, man. You gave the secret, like what you're doing for Titan on this thing. I don't have the nerve to say how I recruited for the team. I never coached that football before. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield of the flag football coaches. Okay, so I literally, whatever it is, I do. I subscribe to some guy on YouTube who like teaches you how to coach. I talk to him on the phone. I bought the software apps. I found the guy who coached the national championship team to call me. I'm surprised, to be honest, that I haven't started a show on Benzinga's network called Flag Football. Like just have an excuse to interview like Deion Sanders for advice. I should probably start that, Luke. Will you let me?
What's that? 4th and 10. You're down by 4. It's like there's 2 seconds on the clock. What play are we running?
Okay, well, how far away are we from the end zone?
You're within 30 yards.
So we have some tall kids, and I think we would just throw it up into the end zone because one of these tall kids will grab it. It's a jumper because when we've done it, it's worked, and we don't do it rarely ever. And I really mostly coach a defense, but this game I'm like taking more like the strategy stuff, and we're going all at it. I mean, this game is probably going to be televised on ESPN. This team hasn't lost it. The team we're playing hasn't lost in 10 seasons. We played them 2 weeks ago. We are up by like 13 points like 6 minutes ago. We had the craziest penalties called on us. I could show you the highlights and you'll say, wow. And like, I actually thought the ref worked for his company, United, but he didn't. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter because the championship's this Sunday at 10:50 a.m. at Country Day. That's where Chris Webber, Shane Battier, and a bunch of athletes from Detroit played at. We played inside a field house. So
it's the polo grounds of the Midwest.
This Joe guy's great. All right, Luke, you're right. Luke said he loves you. So, all right, man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate coming on. You're good. Good luck with the business. Keep growing.
Thanks for having me.
Congrats on the 12. Yeah, congrats on the $12.5 million round. You guys check them out. Titan Invest. I know you guys said what's the URL? It's Titan Invest.
TitanInvest.com.
I wanted to say Google it because that would help your SEO, but I don't want to be a jerk, and so I tell them to Google it. But anyway,
cool. Thanks for having me on, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Yep. Bye. All right, Luke, that was fun. I'm sorry for taking it over a little bit, Luke.
No, that's fine.
I know you were about to go into stocks.
We're a dynamic duo.
We never did DoorDash.
We never did DoorDash. I still have my Leslie's, but we got a couple guests waiting, so maybe we'll just have to save that one.
I would like to have Joe on every 2 weeks where you can discuss some stocks with him too. And then I want to do
he and I have talked stocks before. I mean, he knows the shit. Like
I know,
like the way that Hugh got into Vissel yesterday. I mean, he's like that.
Do you know I have a huge call today at 6 o'clock with the guy that gave me QRTEA up 200%, BTN, and a couple others and SPACs. Well, they want to convert us into a SPAC. They want to convert Benzinga into a SPAC. To be honest, but that's not the main call. It's about if we're going to get this guy to come on. It's not Brian. It's this other guy who's his partner, and he's the smartest guy when it comes to stock picking. He is considering coming on the show as a weekly guest, but I don't know if he thinks we're too trade oriented. His picks take like months to work out, but they're usually like 300% gainers because they buy them.
Well, let's not assume, right? Let's throw it out to ZingerNation. I mean, that's what the show is about, guys. If you would like some deep analysis, you'd like some longer term picks, getting deep into the numbers rather than sort of some swingers, throw the 1 in there. If not, throw the 2. And Jesus, somebody else is calling me out. Yeah, Leslie's and CCIV. I said I would do them. We're just running out of time, guys.
No, it's not Luke's fault. It's my fault. He didn't know I was going to come fucking take over that interview. Sorry.
We'll do them. Stay tuned. Maybe I'll hop back with Spencer later. Oh, yeah. Look at all those ones, Jason.
They want some deep analysis.
Want some deep value. Let's go. We're finding some winners in this market.
Or come back on for like a 6 o'clock show. If it was up to me, I would go 12 hours a day, and I would not even just do stocks all day. Like if we're working at 7 o'clock, I would just have the camera on and talk to it as I'm doing work and making phone calls and let people hear what we're talking about. I don't think half people want to hear about it. Yeah, JR, I said the F word again. Yep. I did. I said I'm going to continue to say
I'd
it.
have Landon Swan do 6 hours every single night.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
6 p.m. to midnight. He wants to do it, so.
Yeah, wait, can I bring on Landon or
let's do it
next? Okay.
All right, I gotta hop off, guys. Jason, I know you got Landon coming up, and then Trader Nick is going to be up shortly after that. I will see you guys later. Again, up next today, we're doing options. You don't want to miss the options lesson. We're gonna have a new link for you. I'm gonna spam it in the chat. I'll spam the shit out of it in the chat. I'll drop in the worksheet for the warrants too. But all right, peace out, guys. Happy trading.
And guys, I'm out of CCIV. I've been out of it. I sold my warrants on CCIV, and I'm out of it. So I'm not like you guys talking about, but I'm out of it. I sold some before like the drop, and I had still about a quarter of it, and then I sold the rest yesterday, and then a little bit today, and now I'm done. Now I'm done. So Luke, you're not doing the CCIV and Leslie. So Luke is going to be reprimanded. I mean, this is a free video thing, so I don't know what kind of penalty you guys can give Luke because you're not paying for it anyways. It's free. So you really can't be that mad. All right, Landon, what's up, Landon Swan?
Good. How you doing, Jason?
How
Good
are
to see
you,
man? It's been a little while.
Now, Landon, I know you're tall. You probably played basketball, but did you play football?
I did not play football. Actually, my mom did not allow me to play football.
not even flag football?
No. It was all basketball. I grew up in Indiana, and if you're over football, I think it's state law to have to get to play basketball.
And was I just watched the Hoosiers with my son, or a little bit of it, and I waited to the end part because I was not sure, and then I watched the end part, and it showed the photo of the team on the gym wall. My question to you is, was it based off a true story at all, or no?
It's a good question. I don't think it was, but I'm not positive about that. It's real cities and real schools, but I don't know if Jimmy Chitwood was a real guy.
Oh, that's a real school?
Yeah, it was real cities, real schools. Yes.
I want those uniforms for my flag football team. I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen. I want to coach like Hoosiers. I want us to be Hoosiers. Like this game on Sunday. Oh my God.
Yeah, just run the picket fence.
the picket fence. I probably could. I mean, it is flag football is all about like disguise and how do you get people open, and then how do you not? I mean, they have a kid on their team that their defense is. I mean, their kid on their team is just like he will be an NFL player, one of their kids, but that's what we have to stop. So you got a double team. Anyway, I heard rumor has it that you maybe want to share your screen and talk about Nvidia.
That's right. Yeah. So you actually, you know what? Luke was talking about longer term plays. I think this is one. So this is a company that has just been dominating. I mean, first of all, let me just explain what this chart is so people understand. The gray line is the stock chart, very simple. The green line is the 90-day moving average of people talking about spending money on an Nvidia product, usually GeForce graphics card, but whatever.
Wait, Landon,
Yep.
Will you say that again? Because I just took you and I off the screen, and I think it's easier to see now. And say what the lines mean again.
Sure. So gray line's a stock chart, NVDA. The green line, that's our data at Likefolio. And what we're tracking is consumer mentions of, in this instance, saying effectively, I'm buying an Nvidia product. Obviously, they say that in a variety of different ways on social media, but we're tracking that and looking for when people are talking about spending money on their products. And so you can see it's been very strong, ramped up big around September, is pulling back, but overall very strong data out of Nvidia. And the reason is actually, I think there's probably the main reason is due to, let me make this a little bit bigger, PC gaming mentions. So if you're looking at the number of people who are talking about playing a video game, it was on a nice little uptrend leading up to quarantine. But then you got elementary, middle school, high school, even college kids staying home, and they're finding time to play video games more than ever during the quarantine. Huge ramp up. And now we're actually seeing it's pulling back a little bit, but we're still at about plus 29% year over year. So people are playing a lot more video games. And Jason, I don't know if you know how much you play or if your kids do, but you got to have the latest and the greatest graphics card because all the cool games are very resource intensive and they're trying to do new things and push the limits with graphics cards. And so that's the first thing that someone will upgrade on their computer if they're trying to get a better gaming experience. It used to be processor or RAM. Now it's all about the graphics card.
And the crypto miners, right?
Yeah. So crypto mining, that is another thing that's wild. So check this out. This is people talking about mining cryptocurrency, and look at the comparison between the 2018 spike when Bitcoin hit around 20,000 and everybody was doing it till now. So now we're actually about 66% higher than that peak. And so for a long time, cryptocurrency was sort of, after the big sell-off, Bitcoin got down to what, 3,000 or 4,000. It just didn't make sense anymore financially. You couldn't make money mining. But now all of a sudden with Bitcoin at 50,000 and all the altcoins and smaller coins doing really well, also all of a sudden it makes sense. So Nvidia is really crushing it on this front too.
So then I guess the question I would have, I get that point on that. So is Nvidia fairly priced, undervalued? Because like a guy asked in the chat just now, what do you think about Roblox going public? And I bet you're going to see a ton of conversation about Roblox through Likefolio, right?
Yeah, actually, we do track that. I have to think about.
Well, the reason I'm saying it is like, do you think some of these trades get too played out because now people are more aware of this kind of stuff, the social arbitrage, and they're more aware of the social stuff? I'm not saying it doesn't work, but is it harder? Is all I guess I'm saying. Because I love what you guys do, and this is how I try to find ideas.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at, we've been evaluated by a lot of different firms. First of all, we had a university do a study on us, basically showing that our data was very predictive top line revenue. We've had hedge funds and quant funds put us through the ringer and then purchase our data. So, it is definitely gives an edge. It definitely has alpha inside the data, showing a short-term and long-term advantage. For Nvidia on this report that's coming up today after the market, I don't know. I mean, they're just off all-time highs, right? They are very, very high. The stock has been doing extremely well. I would say that Likefolio data leans bullish on this report, but it's not a huge edge. But if you're talking about long-term, they've got everything working in their favor. I mean, between the two things that we talked about, both gaming and cryptocurrency, but then you've also got more resource-intensive applications such as AI and automated cars, which have to do these type of complicated calculations, which graphics cards and Nvidia type cards are good at. So they're kind of hitting all the verticals of the future, and everything's kind of pointing in their direction over the next 5 or 10 years. In fact, I would say that if gun to my head, you said pick a stock that you have to hold for 10 years. This is making my list of top 5 or 10. I'm not sure what it would be, but I would think about this one as one that is almost certainly, in my opinion, going to be up in 10 years.
Got it. Okay. I'm hearing that you can't even get Nvidia, like the cards are sold out everywhere. So, they're probably going to destroy earnings tonight, I'm guessing, and have crazy guidance.
Yeah, well, so they, last report they did really well. They beat on revenue and earnings, but the stock sold off about 3% because they're talking about their data center pulling back a little bit, even though it's blowing up. I think it was up 160% year over year, just the data center division. But they guided a little bit lower on that, and that was a concern for Wall Street. Regarding the chips being sold out, that's actually been a kind of a gripe. So happiness on Nvidia has gone from around 85 down to 72% because of the fact that you can't get cards. And a lot of people, especially lately, gamers, are frustrated with the miners because all the miners are taking up the cards. So Nvidia actually had a pretty good solution to this. So going forward, their graphics cards are going to be limited by about a negative 50% limit on the hash rate to make it so that they can't mine with them. And they're introducing a new card just for mining. So they're segmenting their two customers and saying, all right, you guys go buy the graphics cards for gaming. You guys go buy the mining cards for mining, and you stay out of each other's way. So I think this is going to make both groups happy, and it's going to increase the top line for Nvidia.
Got it. So you're not buying it as an earnings play today?
You know what I would do if I'm trading this, I'm selling puts because I love owning this company long term. I don't think that they're going to disappoint. I think that they might. I don't think they're going to greatly disappoint. Let's put it that way. I think that expectations could be really, really high. And so I would worry about good numbers coming in and analysts being like, we expected that, and selling off a little bit. So if I'm playing it, I'm probably doing something like selling puts because I'll take the premium, and if I have to take the shares, fine. I love this company.
So can we do that? What I'm going to open up my screen right now.
Sure.
Okay. So say Nvidia. I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm a rookie when it comes to selling. I buy calls and buy puts. I don't sell. I hedge my Tesla position by doing that. But
Sure.
We're going to share my screen here. 1 second. Just trying. Okay, here we go. 1 second. Landon. Landon Swan from Lake Folio is on the show right now. Okay, here we go. Share my screen. All right, so I got to hit share. There it is. All right, so what puts would you sell?
So I like to look at what the expected move is. Let me look and see if I can figure out what that expected move is on Nvidia.
But would you like data? I want to sell one put. Let's say.
All right.
What put should I sell?
So the at the money, it looks like the expected.
And
move
you're talking
is
to a total neophyte when it comes to this stuff. So it's like
Okay.
you're, yeah.
Yep. So it looks, based on the options pricing, it looks like the expected moves around $30. So what that means is that the market believes that it'll be up or down $30 on average, right? Like if it goes up or down $60, that's a big move. That's a 2 times expected move. So, and I get that by looking at the at the money calls and puts and just kind of adding those together. So that's, $16 and $15. We'll call it 30.
Okay.
So then I would take that 30 and go that much under the current price. So if current price is 570, I would be looking at selling the 540s.
All right. So, and what's that mean? So let's say I sell the 540. What month?
Oh, I like to do the, I like to do the weeklies. Like let's get it.
So
let's
February
get it going
26th.
right yeah. The February 26th. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying I should go to like 545. Okay. What's that mean though? What does this mean? Let's look.
Sure.
So if I sell one put at 545, let's say,
Mhm.
what does that mean?
So that means you're getting about $6 for the puts, and of course, one put is 100 shares. So that means you'll get about $600 in your account. And if Nvidia trades above that price level, above 545, then you just get the $600 and that's it. It doesn't matter how much it goes up or if it goes down to 550. As long as it stays above that 545, you would just keep the $600 and nothing happens else to your account. If it goes below 545, then you will own Nvidia from 545. So if it goes to 530, then you're going to own it from 545. You'll actually be down starting off this trade. It'll be 100 shares worth. So this is a way that you would only do this trade if you were comfortable owning the shares long term. So it's sort of like buying the shares outright, except for you're just saying, I don't know if they're going to go up right now. I just don't think they're going to go down a lot. Even if they do, I'm a buyer at this level.
Okay. So I'm gonna put a limit order, and I'm doing at 5. I'm doing the strike then of, you said 5. Am I 545 on this one? Yeah, I am. Okay.
545 works.
So
Yeah.
it says the bid says 610, the ask says 650. So should I come lower? Should I go 635? Like, how's it going to get executed?
Yeah, you're selling them. So let's try 635.
Okay.
Always work it
All
in
right.
the middle.
Say the name of the company. One of the guys in the chat does not like how I pronounce it.
Nvidia.
Nvidia. So I'm saying Nvidia. So Nvidia, you want me to say? Okay.
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
Nvidia. I don't know. People like
that's how I've said it. I have no idea.
People like to criticize. That's what people do. People like to hate in this world. And I just, now that I'm in the whatever media world, you knew me before I was doing all this shit. You should have seen the day that we had on Mia Khalifa. You should have seen the stuff that they were saying. It was unbelievable. I like the stuff. I got a kick out of it, to be honest. It was just, yeah. This guy Gandhi the Wise, he's so wise. Okay, so I sold that. So I may buy some things, but I love looking at your social sentiment stuff. I was like short this at one point in my life, or not short. I didn't like it because places like Tesla were making their own chips, and
Sure.
there's new innovation. Apple, and I know AMD is competing with Intel, and these are different, but I wasn't loving it. But now that I'm seeing all this stuff in here and the crypto mining, and is it overplayed? I don't know, but I kind of like it. I got a lot off margin. I got a lot off margin, but maybe I can, get back into margin. But yeah, I like it. So,
well, I mean, they've got a lot of competition. They definitely have a lot of competition, but I think that their industry is I'm super bullish on the whole industry. Everything that they've got their hands on is part of the future, and they're right now doing really well. They're the dominant player, and it's a rising tide. So I think they're going to lift this boat just like all others. And generally speaking, we like to find consumer trends that are helping companies and then find the best company of those. So you got two shots at making money, because you got the trend helping you and you got the fact that you've got a great company. So both of them, if they come true, then this could be a really strong company over the next few years. And I don't mind owning shares if it does dip. So I think most likely this trade is just going to get you $600, and it's not going to fall too much, and you'll just, no big deal, get out of it. But long term, if you do own shares, I'd just put it away and hold on to it and check back in a couple of years.
Got it. Okay, that's good. So this is Landon Swan from Likefolio. Thank you for coming on and sharing what you're seeing with the data. Helps us get another perspective and seeing the sentiment. And I think I actually may buy some shares before the close and take it for a little ride. And if I own it, I own it. And if it doesn't fall, I guess I just made $600 by talking to Landon. It's always nice to talk to Landon when I make $600, and he always brings the nice poppy, right?
That's right. Hey, Pappy, that's right. And we'll bring that next.
That wrong too. See?
Yeah. Hey, we'll bring the 23 year next time. We'll have a sip. We'll toast to your championship flag football team.
Oh my God! You made me think. I forgot about it for like 20 minutes. Now I think about it again. Yeah, my wife's like, this is my first. She's like, you're not coaching again. It takes too much time. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And she's like, well, you talk about it so much. I'm like, okay. Anyway, Landon, thank you for coming on. Say hi to not you're the better looking brother. So say hi to the, I don't know if you want to call him smart. I don't know what brother, the dumber brother, Andy. Okay, yeah. I don't know how to say it, but there you go. The two tallest brothers that I know, Landon and Andy Swan. And we'll see you later from Likefolio. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.
Peace out. All right. Now we have another guest, trader Nick. Sorry for the delay, my man. I see a camera behind you. Why don't we use that camera behind you? Why are we using this one?
We really should. I'm missing the little adapter between the two from my computer to that camera. I left it at home.
Yeah, and I am not using my. We have a good camera that can make me look blurry, like the whole thing, the background.
We'll do the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, I have a really good camera, but the reason I'm not using it is because I have two monitors in front of me, and it's like hard to put. They can put a camera in between and make it me look awesome, but then I don't like that the monitors have a little separation in the middle, and I don't want to keep moving them. So yeah. I'm just doing the shitty camera, and I'm hoping that my voice is what people like, not my face, because my face, I have a face made for radio, Nick. You have a face made for TV, okay? That's the bottom line, okay?
Hey, I think you have both. You guys sound great and you look great. From your studio, you guys have everything. I wish we had half the equipment you guys have.
Oh my God, if I take the camera around, there's so much equipment in here. We're doing very little with all this equipment. We should be doing a lot more. We before the end of the year last year, we spent like $30,000 on like random equipment, and I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, like I think we have like 5-6 cameras, but I don't see them set up anywhere. I don't know, man, but I just one day we'll get it all working, I guess.
You know, to
One
me, that's a
day.
good problem to have. Having extra cameras and extra equipment, there's no problems there. Well, thank you very much for having me on the show, and big shout out to everybody in your audience so far. From what I've seen, I'm a big fan of your show already. I've been watching it the last few days, anyways, so this was a perfect fit.
Yeah. So did you get in touch with Aaron? Is that how?
I believe whoever runs the Benzinga Instagram page is who I was chatting with.
Got it. It must have been Aaron. So what do you do, man? You're Trader Nick on Twitter, Instagram. What's your story?
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube predominantly. I'm mostly a currency trader. I do a little bit of stocks as well.
What's your YouTube link?
It's just Trader Nick on YouTube. If you just search it up, it's just one word. It's kind of like Trader Joe's. But I focus mostly on currencies and a little bit of commodities, gold, oil, the S&P. That's kind of my specialty. So a little bit different from you guys, which you guys are big in the stocks and the options world. Admittedly, I don't know a ton about options, but
Nick, don't lie. You have equipment like galore. Okay, I just met your page. I'll share my screen so people can see it. Hold on. I'm at yeah, you have equipment, you have stuff. So where are you based out of?
We're in Atlanta, so we've got a little shared office space. We're, like I said, don't dote on us too much. From what I see in you guys' stuff, you got much better setup than us. So we're baby channel size compared to you guys.
Like I said, have you heard of Benzinga before he reached out to you?
I did. We've actually done a little bit of collaborations in the past. It's been a minute, but I think it was Aaron that I was working with in the past.
Yeah. I mean, Benzinga's core business is providing news and data to brokerages and like partners like Yahoo Finance to Ameritrade to Robinhood. Those are all customers of us. Mm-hmm. So we are a back end vendor. If you wanted to like stereotype us, our biggest competitor would arguably be like a Reuters. We're about 120 people at our company, full time, like to 120 people. And most of it's data and news. We break stories. Like tomorrow we have an event. Cannabis Capital Conference since Friday too. It's like I think 10,000 people are registered for it. That's our core business. The video stuff that you've seen recently is just like more just trying to like bring out great people like yourself. Like you have a huge channel, no doubt. But is there a way that we can like get you like CNBC has their channel? Like, is there a way we can get you featured more? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's my idea.
Yeah, and I think from what I've seen with you guys' channel, I love the fact that you just bring so many different people together and different perspectives. Like the gentleman you had prior talking about Nvidia, like I hadn't even thought about some of the stuff that he was pulling up, and that was fantastic. So definitely a big fan of what you guys do.
So you're go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna go to your currency thing, but in a second. And you said we. So do you have a company, or is it you? Like how?
Yeah.
What's your thing?
Yeah, we have what we do. We a very very niche little forex sort of analysis, and we put media content out, and we do a little bit of work with brokerages as well. But that's kind of our primary thing is currency side of thing, talking about the euro, the Swiss franc, and what have you. So
with the current, now let's go to currency a little bit. So
sure.
I know you're a currency trader. Do you do anything with Bitcoin or USDC or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I am long on Bitcoin right now, especially with all this craziness recently. It's been something to always keep on one screen. But yeah, I'm long on Bitcoin right now, and I'm also long on gold right now. My bias right now is mostly short, kind of safe haven currencies, things like the dollar, the yen, and the Swiss franc, and focusing more on some of those more risk on stuff. One thing I will add, with everything going relatively speaking to the stock market, is the last few days we've seen the stock market dip a little bit, but more of the risk off currencies have been going crazy. A lot of things like the Canadian dollar and the pound and things like that have actually been skyrocketing, which is interesting because you usually see risk on currencies moving up or down with the market. They've been kind of diverging the last few days, which is just something interesting that I've been kind of paying attention to on our channel, our content.
So do you have any new trades that you put on recently?
Yeah, I took gold long this morning. I took gold against the dollar, which in the currency world, there's different, you can trade ETFs, of course, but for me, that's XAU USD is the currency pair, if you will. And then I have it in my stock portfolio as well, a little bit of long on GLD, just taking the ETF long. But I took gold long. Again, that's kind of same hedge against inflation sort of play there, but I took it long on the 4-hour chart, so sort of short term.
So do you have long? Do you do trades like you put on today and you'll keep it for a week, or are you mostly day, or how do you do it?
Mostly swing trader. So I'll hold something for 1 day to 30 days. And my style is sort of, if I jump into something and it keeps running in my favor, I'll hold on to it and let it do its thing. And if it goes against me, I'll just cut it pretty quick.
Got it. Got it. And so that's so and how long have you been doing it that way?
I've been trading for about 4 or 5 years now, and trend following and going with kind of momentum has been my major play for the last 2 or 3 years at least.
Got it. Now, do you think what? I know you're a currency, that's your specialty. Why not get into equities too then?
Well, I am. I actually started in stocks, and I still to this day, I'll hold stocks that I like, and occasionally take a trade on stocks. I just find currencies for me, I just really like the macroeconomics and studying sort of the fundamentals there. But of course, I've got stock plays on as well. I always brag about my $99 average on Tesla, which I've just held for a long time. I bought it back in March, and that one has just been incredibly fortunate. I had no idea it would rally so hard, but I caught a lot of tech stocks back in March and April, and I've been in and out. I think, the craziest one, I saw it on, I think it was Luke's Twitter. He was talking about Disney a little bit, which I thought was really interesting because Disney is one that I've kind of held as more of like a stable stock to keep in my portfolio. And funny enough, it's just done like really incredible, which I find very interesting.
I bought it at like 125 Disney, and I'm keeping it because Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But hey, you didn't even brag at all, man. Come on. Look at this. look at this. Mitch, we did an article on you. And the title of Dylan Wittenberg, who's an intern here, who's now accepted to Michigan Law School. So proud of that guy. I encourage him. Yeah, he's trying. I encourage him to do that. How this 23-year-old millionaire entrepreneur is helping others succeed in the markets. And it's a story about Nick Syiek. How do you pronounce your last name?
Syiek. You got it pretty close. Yeah.
Syiek. Well, I'm not pronouncing things right today, so I'm just I'm like afraid,
Well, you can count that one as a win. That's like 90% better than usual.
Good. Okay. Whoever, I don't know if that guy saw it. Give me a credit. No one's gonna give you credit for things you do right, but they're gonna give you credit for things you do wrong. Which I understand it. I understand it. People, I get it. I'm probably that same thing too. So. Did that article get some play amongst your friends?
It did. Well, yeah, a lot of people found out about it. I kind of we did like a little bit of an exchange where I shouted out you guys as Benzinga Pro, and people had such a good reaction to that, and then they wrote about me. It was a cool little collaboration.
We should do some stuff again like that. I mean, you're a good guy. You're genuine. I can just tell in 2 seconds, and you know your stuff. And in currencies, be honest, we're shitty at. So like we are shitty at, like having someone with your intelligence on currencies would be amazing.
Yeah, well, I'd be happy to talk more about that for sure. Currencies, I don't know. It makes no sense, I guess, where I went from equities. Everybody in America is big on equities, and I'm like the one American that I know that's like seriously interested in Forex and currencies. But I don't know. I just have been really interested in looking at, what's going on with the UK and Europe and Asia. And it's just fascinating to me.
All right. No, I got it. All right, Spencer, I think so Nick, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. I would like to do something every couple of weeks where you can talk currencies as long as it's good for you. Absolutely. And everything, if people like it, but appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you giving your viewpoints. And don't be a stranger for sure. They want Nick. Jason. They want Nick. Someone just wrote in, Hans Diglerson or something wrote, have Nick host a Forex show.
Maybe we'll have to make it happen. Well, Jason, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Peace out. Bye bye. All right, I'm going to be handing off to Spencer. I'm going to have a call right now with the chairman of Curaleaf, Boris. I'm going to have a call with him in 2 minutes, so I don't want to be late to that. The chairman of Curaleaf. Like some of you guys may own that stock. I'm going to have a call with Boris Jordan in 2 minutes, because you know why I'm having a call with Boris Jordan, guys? What is that noise?
Is that
Spencer, are you freaking kidding me?
Sorry.
I still hear it.
Wrong mic there.
Is that okay? Is that better? Yeah, that's way better. What the heck was going on? So Boris Jordan, tomorrow starts our Cannabis Capital Conference, and I'm kicking it off by interviewing the chairman of Curaleaf. He has very interesting things to say about the whole industry, and he's very smart because he's sold previous companies. You're going to want to hear it. If you're not signed up for the BZ Cannabis Capital Conference, go to bzcannabis.com and sign up. And I'm going to see you guys later. Great show. Mitch, don't be so blurry with those new cameras and stuff. You got to fix your lens with the 6-1 cross. If you fix the 6-1 cross and move it over to the right, you'll be fine, okay? And hey, Mitch, don't spell any say any words wrong, because there's a guy in here who's going to get you. He's going to get you.
Probably.
He's going to get you. So, all right. Oh, there's Tiny Pie. I want to see more videos. All right, guys. Thanks. Love you. Peace, peace, peace. Tip your dealers. Tip your dealers. Like and subscribe. And I'm going to bring Sandy Monroe on very soon. That's his line. He always says, tip the dealers. All right. Peace. Bye.
I just want to say that Jason says like the longest goodbyes. I come from a Jewish family. We know long goodbyes, but Jason's goodbyes are like the longest goodbyes. He can't hear me right now.
I'd have to agree with that one.
He wasn't. He's too far away to hear me right now. All right. So Mitch, we're supposed to have Mozzie Trades on right now, but that fell through for the day. So it's going to be you and me for the next half hour or so until Biotech Buzz at 2:30. Have you seen this market today, Mitch? It is wild. Second day in a row, buy the dip and rip it higher.
I mean, where do you have fear? Pumping pow.
There was no fear. There was
pumping
no fear.
Pow, man.
I'm
Joe's
done.
calling it. Joe's calling it done, man. The pumping pow come to save the day again, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I mean,
Here, can I? Let me see if I can pull up a chart, or maybe you can pull up a chart of.
Yeah, I got you. You want the SPY?
Yeah, SPY. Let's just take a
Let's
look
do
here.
it.
And where's my? There it is. Yeah, take a look at SPY. Look at that chart of SPY today, man. Look at that. We flush them out. We get all the scaredy cats shaken out in the first half hour. And then bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Wait, where was the bottom? We bottomed at what time? Let me see. Brent tells me I need to
10 a.m.
time at the
10 a.m.
Like 10:10 looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 a.m. But
Brent tells me I gotta spend more time on the 1 minute chart, so I'm gonna try looking at the 1 minute chart more often. But
even better. You know what I like on these kinds of days? Lost my camera there.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's all right.
Lost my camera there. I'll be back. 2 seconds. Boom. All right, there you go. So what I like to use here is the hourly chart. And so
hourly? Okay.
Yeah, the reason
I almost never go to an hourly chart if I can help it.
So watch how it looks on the hourly chart. 1 hour dip.
Yeah.
And then the 10 a.m. rip.
The reason I will look at the half hour chart though is because you and today is a great example of that. Like a lot of times that first half hour, that 9:30 to 10, that block, that's where all the volatility is, right? Because there's the overnight, there's people like navigating through the overnight session. But by 10 a.m. or 10:15, whatever, things get a little quiet, right? Not always, but usually. So I do like looking at that first half hour because that's where that first half hour and that last half hour, that's where all the volatility is in the regular session. So, wow, we are just blasting off here.
This is classic. I mean, if you're a day trader out there, and I'm pretty sure you've seen this plenty of times, the kind of changeover at that 10 a.m. And so the reason I got to use just the hourly chart is any day of worry, the hourly chart can at least show me like support. So this is a 30-minute, but I mean, if you scroll back, at least you can start seeing some support somewhere near the 386, 380s. And those will kind of show you kind of, especially on long-term charts, you got to find the support. So you kind of at least look for those long-term supports, and the swing is common there at that 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there's someone in the chat being like, yeah, I've seen this plenty of times.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple of big stocks moving. I want to get into some of the stocks moving.
Go for it.
So today, Fisker news. I don't know if you heard about it.
That was the first thing I saw when I got in this morning.
Yeah,
that was the very first thing I saw. We covered it on pre-market prep. Fisker.
There you go.
Yeah, they got that deal with the subsidiary of Foxconn, and blast off mode.
Yeah. And then so this one had a little kind of pullback during that 9:30 time, but that was just when the market was a little shaky. As soon as the market gained control, boom. At 11 o'clock, this one just turned, and now it's look at the volume coming into this thing. If you actually look, it's actually getting kind of more volume now than it had near the open. So definitely someone's believing in this move right now in Fisker. So big move today in Fisker. I think what's it up 37% on the day. So big move there.
I'm sorry, person in the chat who I assume is Yvonne Shore, but Mozzie is sick today, so no Mozzie trades, no options. You're stuck with Mitch and I until Biotech Buzz at 2:30. You're looking at Fisker, Mitch. I was looking at oil.
Oil?
Like the USO in particular.
All right.
Pull up like a longer-term chart. The USO has been a beast.
All right, let's look at the kind of the weekly. Is for the longer term.
I don't mean that longer term. I meant like a daily.
Yo, long term to me means weekly, man.
All right. I meant like a daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean weekly too, but this thing has been
since October. Pretty much a rip.
Since November, it's almost doubled.
Yeah, and this was. When was it the time that we kind of like went over like in negatives? I think for the
that was March. That was 420. That was 420 last year. That's what that was.
I like how you can remember that date and you see that gap down right here.
It's stuck in my head.
We're just starting to clear that kind of level. I mean, that's kind of like the 35, 36, but we're really starting to get above that and start getting up towards the next resistance. So it's going to be interesting how this one gets towards 50. I think that's kind of like the next level up. You're going to have 45, some resistance, but I think with all the kind of support you're seeing in the industry, I think this one's going to head closer towards that 50 target, and then we'll see if it just comes turning around like we usually have seen in oil. Even when you get kind of these runs up and you can look up a little further back, it runs up, runs into a further resistance, and then smack down.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens in oil, but there's some plays out there for sure. Today, one that I saw that I've been really surprised on is that PubM. PubM, man.
Yeah, you've been talking about this one, haven't you?
Yeah,
for
man.
a hot second.
People didn't. It wasn't sexy at first.
Programmatic ads. Yeah, it's not like the least sexy thing, but it's like not the sexiest thing.
Yep. And so this one, has caught fire and it pulled back, and the earnings. Wow. So, look at that gap up after earnings. I don't know what their earnings were. Can you read us the numbers, Spencer? See if we can pull those numbers
PUBM?
here. Yeah, I know they had some earnings here.
That was yesterday. Yeah, okay. We didn't even cover it. EPS 34 cents versus a 30-cent estimate. Sales of 56.2 million versus 47.5 million. So a beat in the fourth quarter. Q1 sales guidance above estimates. Fiscal year sales guidance also above estimates. So strong quarter, strong guidance for PUBM.
The only thing I can say is, kind of mad I don't have it in the portfolio.
Yeah.
Kind of mad I don't have it, When you call it early and you don't have it, that's when you always be like, man, what's going on there? All right, so let's see what other kind of trades we have out here moving today. JFU, what's up with this one? This is a little cheaper penny stock up there, about 41%. So I know there's probably some people watching it. If there's any stock you guys want mentioned, go ahead and put it in the chat, guys.
Yeah, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, Mitch and I are going to go back and forth. I want to hit on Snapchat. Actually, I want to hit on two at once. I want to do Snapchat and Twitter. Okay.
Boom. Let's do it.
Snapchat
Let's talk about them.
Had their, I guess it was their first ever investor day yesterday. That rhymes. And they said that they're looking at growing their revenues 50% a year for multiple years. So the stock went up on that, and then you see the follow through today, right? So like in analyst coverage land, right? You got KeyBank raising their price target, Rosenblatt raising their price target, Credit Suisse raising their price target, Morgan Stanley raising their price target, Jefferies raising their price target, Piper Sandler. All these analysts come in that were already bullish. They all had buy ratings, but they're now raising their price targets. They're even more bullish on Snapchat after yesterday.
I mean, you can tell from the kind of reactions on the chart. You got a drive up, then it comes down a little bit. It's huge drive up. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look on the daily, see how it's been reacting. But definitely, you can see on the intraday kind of definitely a quick move up. But this one has surprised me after kind of the fact that they got over their advertisement worries. And I mean, look at that. That was back when it was like in the 20s.
Wait, hold on one second. I'm just seeing a thing on Twitter that like the Federal Reserve like is down. I don't really know what that means. like is their website down? I'm not quite sure. Are the printers not working?
What happened? They found out there's no gold at Fort Knox.
Unplug it and plug it back in, guys. Come on. Let's get this going.
So yeah, definitely. So let's check out Twitter.
Yeah. So Twitter.
So,
the reason
as you mentioned that.
The reason I bring that up though is because they have an analyst day tomorrow, guys. Okay. So we just saw Snapchat give some rosy guidance on their investor day yesterday. Twitter has an analyst day tomorrow. What that means is they have their C-suite essentially will have a private audience with analysts, or vice versa. Analysts are going to have a private audience with the Twitter C-suite, and they're going to give them financial updates and get to ask questions, basically like you would after an earnings call. But it's a day specifically for analysts to sort of get their questions out and answered. So, and it's a day for Twitter to talk up their business and their growth. So we could see Twitter, depending on what they say, blast off or crater tomorrow.
Well, I'll say at least from the chart, it's looking like it's hitting that multiple resistance. Multiple times it's stopped up here in the 74s. So you got a closing here. What's the close here? You got 73.96. Over here you got a rejection of a high of 74.33s. And then right here on today, you got a rejection of 73.95. So definitely some resistance near that 74. I would pay attention towards that level. If you see some big buyers step up there at that 74, that might be a signal that, hey, they might know something a little bit ahead of time. But right now, I would kind of wait to see the reaction, just because you had this huge gap up, and you never know if this one can come down towards 70 right now and then try maybe 68. But that last on the 23rd, that's a strong candle. So if it can get another strong candle up through that 74, it would look pretty strong, at least on the charts.
Okay, I want to pull up my screen for a second. Hat tip to Michael Fian on our news desk. I don't know what the site is. I've never been here before. Federal Reserve Services.org. It's not .org, so you know it's legit. All right. Look at all these interruptions.
It's not working, man.
Yeah. So I guess who was it in the chat? Jack Vogel in the chat. I guess if this is the system that enables banks to lend with each other, basically the overnight lending system that banks use to lend and receive money if they're short, depending on the activity for the day. That's not good. Remember whatever happened? We had that whole issue. Was it a year ago? I guess it was more than that now. I guess it was pre-COVID with the overnight lending system was like broken. Remember, the Fed was having to like put all this money, inject all this money into the overnight system. Whatever happened with that? That kind of, we fell into a pandemic, and everybody kind of forgot about the chaos with our overnight lending system. I remember that being a thing like in the fall, winter. The repo. Thank you, the repo system. What happened with the repo system? We don't hear about that anymore. I have to find out about that. Oh, the repo was broken for like a couple weeks there, and like end of 2019. Anyway, okay. Who was it in chat that just put in a ticker? Yeah, Ben B. Put in ONTX. We can look at that. Well, what I'll tell you, Ben B, is what I'll also do is I'll bring up ONTX because it's a biotech stock. Let's take my chart off. Because it's a biotech stock, let me bring this up on our next stream at 2:30 with Vivi. See if she knows anything fundamentally about the company, because we do not. Well, I'm assuming Mitch doesn't. I don't know anything about ONTX. So we can look at the chart now, but if you hop on over at 2:30 to our next stream, Biotech Buzz, the link is in chat. It's also on YouTube. then let's see if Vivi knows more about this, because she's the biotech lady and we are not. Mitch, do you know anything about ONTX? I know nothing.
No, I'm actually just even moving past. That's when you know.
They regained
Trade what you
compliance.
know.
Wait,
Trade what you know.
they regained compliance with Nasdaq. That's good.
All right, that's good.
If you're regaining compliance with an exchange,
that's a plus.
I guess it's bad you were there in the first place, but hey.
Yeah. You might have to worry about the risk factors on the investors.
Yeah.
Look at that 10K and look at the risk factors. That's what I would look at.
No, because it's always the same with those things. Oh, risk factors. It's always the same.
Well, they tell you a lot of the times that like if this like certain let's say this certain clinical trial doesn't go well,
right.
expect some negative side effects.
Okay. Webcoin CCIV, is there news? Nope. Well, there was news.
I got one
Not
to
today.
take a look here.
Yeah, what do you got?
My favorite space stock being
Maxar?
mentioned by. Hey, you see, I don't even have to tell you it.
Oh, it's up on the screen. I was wondering.
Is that you need kind of 3 points to go off of?
Yeah.
So I would be looking for a third point. You know, there's kind of nothing really up in this area. So yeah, it's kind of downtrending, and yeah, you're kind of getting this sideways action, and you could start calling it a pennant. But until I get that third touch, I don't even kind of pay attention to it. What I want to see is when it comes down towards the level of support, which looks like 44 or down to this 42, because there's like 2 levels here. Look for some big buyers. I look for big buyers to show up there, because if some big buyers show up there, that shows that maybe there's some bigger, like kind of bigger fish playing the let me buy down here, sell up here, buy down here, sell up here, buy down here, sell up here. And a lot of people play that kind of game. So keep your eyes on this one. I always look for any announcement with Maxar that they announce something else with SpaceX. They already have a partnership with them. So keep that in mind and look for those news catalysts. And that's what I keep my eyes on with Maxar. Any contract talks, keep that on your radar, because Maxar gets a lot of government contracts. And that's what really got me on the radar in the first place when it popped over $10. So now this one's trading at 46. And with the Cathy ETF on the horizon, that could be the potential catalyst that gets it out of this kind of sideways trend.
All right, Stacy in the chat is spamming a lot about EHang and Neo. Let's look at Neo. They report earnings.
Neo.
Yeah, they report earnings on the 1st, so that's a week from. When's that? A week from Monday? Yeah, that's what day is today? 24th? Yeah, okay. A week from Monday. They report earnings next Monday.
All right, I'll pull her up here so that at least we know who Stacy is, and you gotta show her off, man.
All right.
Let's go. Let's take a look here. So sideways action right after a rip out in here in December, but it's actually looking good because when you're coming back towards the level of supports, you're at least bouncing off of that. So that deep dip that we had yesterday, it actually came right towards the support level and came right off of that bottom level here. So let me just draw out some levels here. Kind of show it off here. Like, when stocks bounce off of support levels like that gives you a good sign at least that there's some volume profile in that level, because they didn't just sell out there. They're hanging out, they're holding on to their positions, and you get a quick bounce up. It went down towards a low yesterday of 41.66, and now you're already at a high today of 51.88. So the big level with a clear will now be kind of this 55 level, where you see this big resistance right here. So I'll draw another line here for you guys. I'd pay attention to see how it's going to react when it starts getting over this 54 level into the 55s, and see if we can get back up to 56. But it's going to be interesting because this one is starting to get the volume to come back in because of that dip. If you look at the volume at the bottom, you see kind of this downtrending action, downtrending action, downtrending action. And just yesterday, you started seeing that volume start coming back in. That could have been people buying the discounted a day. You see 142 million shares traded. It also could have been people running out of their positions because they were maybe up here in the 54s. So now you just got to pay attention. Do we get some higher volume to continue moving this kind of downtrend and then smacking it up with some volume? That's how I usually see the breakouts, guys.
All right, let's do some more tickers from the chat. Again, Mitch and I are going to hang out until about 2:30. Then we're both going to dip. I'm going to pop on over to Biotech Buzz with Vivi, and we'll do some biotech stocks over there.
This is an interesting one. Can WKHS go any lower?
Of course it can. It can.
Look at the name. Real idiot.
Hey, listen. We're all idiots in our own way. Real idiot.
Hey,
have some more self-esteem. Come on.
I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, I
felt
like an idiot.
Have some
before
more
trading
self-esteem,
stocks
real
myself.
idiot. I'm saying it now. You are not a real idiot.
Hey, well, I can say we found some support, at least on the chart. I mean, if you go back a little bit, let's find some weekly support here, and so look how this comes down right towards kind of this weekly support area, and then so Alt H for you Benzinga Pro users, little plug right there.
Alt H. Wait, Alt H. Oh God, you're so much better.
You don't even know that. You don't even know that.
No, not the hotkeys.
You learn something new every day, man.
I don't know
Alt
hotkeys.
H, Alt H, and then that's for the horizontal, and then for your trend, if you want to draw a trend line, Alt T. Boom, you got your trend line.
Luke, get out of our chat. All right.
He needs to step up that game.
Luke is on a call with, I think, a client, and he's chatting. He's in chat right now. He's talking to a client, and he's in chat. What is he doing?
Luke always delivers. Luke always delivers. That's what he says.
What else are we what's going on in chat? A few people at TJ McGee is asking about CCIV. Speaking of blow ups. I don't know if you want to call it a blow up, but this is one full disclosure. I did try and buy this thing because I saw the report come out on Sunday night from Bloomberg that the deal was gonna happen like Tuesday, and it broke it like in the evening, right? Like after the Sunday night session opened, and I went on my Webull account, which I only use for like YOLO trades, and I tried to buy CCIV, and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me buy it. They're like, you gotta wait till 4 a.m. to buy it. And I was like, all right, and so that kind of saved me.
Hey, well, one thing you learn, and one thing I've always said is that when the market front runs kind of a rumor, you have to be careful because what if the market has priced in that news already? And so that's where you hear the term a lot of the times, buy the rumor, sell the news. This is exactly the story, and this was something I was kind of concerned about and warning about on SPAC's attack was that, it was going to get to a point where if it just kept going up and the news didn't come out, eventually it gets to a point where it's just it is the news. It's already baked in. And so I think this is exactly what happened here. To me, if you would have told me probably around the 20s or even around this 30 period, news comes out, I would probably say, 50s, maybe 60s. I didn't really see 100. A lot of people on Twitter were putting out 100s, 300 looks on these, and you got to be careful. One of the things is it's not like Lucid Motors is just like killing it in the sales right now. If that was the truth, then I would understand. Okay, yeah, this is gonna go strictly straight up to compete with Tesla. And so you saw a hard turnaround. And a lot of people yesterday were talking about that maybe this one could just rebound today. But man, this doesn't look like it's rebounding right now. Still looking like it's trying to find some support. Next level down, I think near the 20s. And so if it gets down to the $20 price point, that's kind of the area where I'll even start looking at it like, okay, now we pulled back from 60 to 20. Maybe it at least makes sense starting on a kind of risk to return kind of perspective.
All right, Luke wants us to know that he's long Leslie's. I'll bring up the chart, LESL. If I had a nickel for every time I got dragged to a Leslie's over the weekend as a child with my dad, I would not need to work because we had a pool growing up. Leslie's is a pool supply store, and our pool was like ancient, so we always had problems. Like there was always something broken with the water was always like either like green or cloudy or like the cover was ripped or the lining was screwed up, and I got dragged to the store more times than I can count. And for that reason, I hate this store. Okay, but Luke wants us to know that he is long Leslie's LESL. He said he bought calls. Here's his long thesis. Yeah,
what I would say about pools. While you pull that up, you can pull his thesis up. Of course,
yeah. Here, we'll pull it up. Pull it up.
One thing I'd say about pools, because I've cleaned a lot of them in my days, it's a consistent process. Once you have a pool, it's not like you can just choose to go away from the process. So just kind of mentioning.
Yeah, God, I associate this store with like just boring, just being trapped, being so bored out of my mind. Yeah, it smells like bleach and chlorine in there. It's all pool supplies. Being dragged there as a kid was the worst. All right. Anyway, the thesis was that they're coming off their slowest quarter of the year, and obviously, right? Like it's winter. No shit. Thanks, Luke. Slowest quarter of the year is winter. Wouldn't have known that one. All right. Let's see what the catalyst is. He expects them to beat on earnings because, I guess, of their digital sales. Let's look at this chart. All right. We'll get positive news from the company helping Texas. That's what he thinks. He thinks they're going to help Texas. Okay. All right. So Luke owns
the Leslie.
He owns the May. What does he own? The May the $25 calls expiring May 21st. That's what he owns.
All right. Looks like we got ourselves a super sticker there. Sam Broski over here with FCAC. I'm gonna be honest right here. So FCAC was one that when the whole kind of panic was in the streets, I was trying to buy. Man, this one got low, and I just didn't get in. I didn't get an order filled, but this was one that I was literally I was trying to get in because the dip was nice. It came down closer towards that $10 is what I want to see, guys. It got down towards the low right here was 1088, and then this one quickly swept up. It went all the way up to a high of 1277, and so this is one that was really on my radar. So I can't blame you for taking a look at this one. I don't have it, just to be full disclosure there, but I do like it because it is hung around here with a support at like 1120s 11 for quite a while. And so what I always like to look for is a move above 11, above 10, and then sideways action to show you that maybe, it's not going to crack that 10 again. And then you look for the kind of the news to come out, the catalysts, because these need catalysts to really drive. But this one, it seems like people really kind of support it because every time it dips towards that 11, there's been people kind of scooping it up.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to hop out. And I'm going to hop into Biotech Buzz with Vivi. That'll start in 3 minutes. The link is in the chat. I'll put it in there one more time before I go so y'all can see. But I'm going to let Mitch run with y'all for the last few minutes of this show. Let me get link. Where's my link? There's my link. Biotech Buzz. Boom. There it is. All right, Mitch. I'm going to hop out and see y'all in the other stream.
All right, guys. So definitely, stay tuned for biotech. You guys get ready to switch on over. But I'll go over one more stock here for you guys if you guys want. Let me see. Looks like someone giving me the ATI. Let me look right quick. Not something I really know of, but let me take a look at the chart. So great sideways period breaking out. You got to see when it does kind of a pullback because right now it's kind of extended. But when it does a pullback, do you get some big volume to rebuy and maybe closer towards this $20 price point or closer towards these 1950s? I would kind of avoid it for right now, but keep that one in mind, Han. So look for kind of this resistance to come back into play, this 1950. If it could pull back towards that level, that's the only time I would look for it. I don't really like to get them after they broke out. But one thing that you can have mentioned is before you had this sideways period where you knew the support was near this 18, at least giving you that risk profile that you can know your risk to return. All right, guys. So before we get on out of here, guys, it looks like we'll be starting up in about 2 minutes. I did see some people talk about GSAT. This is one that's interesting just because it's a lower price one and it's had some momentum. But really, when you see kind of earnings and stuff being mentioned, whenever you got kind of these penny stocks, you got to be careful. I personally, on a long-term basis, wouldn't be in this one, but in kind of trading stage, you can see that it kind of keeps patterns. I mean, it's stair-stepping up, sideways action, stair-stepping up, but now it's starting to not get so clear. And when you get this kind of breakdowns, you got to be careful, because just because it got to these levels again doesn't mean that it couldn't break down through these levels again. And this was a pretty hard breakdown yesterday. So you never know when you could get back down towards this 120 kind of area where it broke out from in the first place. Definitely, like Luke says, guys, smash the like. Let's go, guys. Support us. One thing I'd tell you guys is that Luke definitely works hard to bring on the best guests that he can. He'll yell at Aaron if he needs to, but we bring you a lot of guests, and it's not just one per show, it's multiple, and this is absolutely free, guys, so you can't really get a better show than this. So definitely, guys, smash the like button. Let's go ahead and let's start moving over to the biotech, guys. So there's 658 people. I'm going to pull my charts off, because if not, I know no one's going to start leaving. And you need to learn about some biotechs, because I don't even know about biotechs, guys. So definitely, guys, let's start switching on over. I'm going to go ahead. Looks like Luke's putting it up there for us. Let's go ahead, get on over to the biotech. You guys know what time it is. The link is in chat. Hey guys, I'm correcting the link here, guys. So go ahead and check out this link right here. Putting it in the link right here. This will be perfect. matter.